Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the City of Boynton Beach Commission meeting. Today is Tuesday, May 5th, 2026, and the time is now 6 p.m. Before I continue, I'd like to remind everyone of our rules of civility and decorum. Speakers must first be addressed by the mayor or the chair and not interrupt any other speakers. Public comments must be addressed to the commission as a whole and not to any particular individual on the dais or in the audience. Insults, personal attacks, and disruptions will not be tolerated, and you will be asked to leave should you violate these rules. We will now turn to the interim city clerk for roll call.
Commissioner Cruz?
Present.
Commissioner McCray?
Present.
Commissioner Kelly?
Here.
Vice Mayor Turkin?
Present.
Mayor Shelton? Vice Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Tammy. Joining us for the invocation today is Pastor Emily Ash, and then I'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Thank you. Let's prepare our hearts for a moment. Generous and merciful God, we gather here to hear from our community for ways that we can grow and be better. Give us all wisdom, patience, and listening ears as we each share our hopes and ideas for this wonderful city. Thank you, Lord, for our elected officials, city staff, and first responders. Continue to give them courage to lead us forward to grow in ways that benefits us all. We ask this in faith and hope as we leave these words to you. In all these words we say, amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Ash. We are now moving to the agenda approval, adoptions, deletions, or corrections. Let's begin on my right with Commissioner Cruz. Do you have anything?
For me, thank you.
All right, Commissioner Kelly.
No, Vice Mayor, thank you.
Commissioner McCray.
No, Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve agenda?
Second.
We have a motion from Commissioner Kelly, a second from Commissioner McCray. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We'll now begin to informational items by the members of the City Commission. We'll begin on my left with Commissioner McCray.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. First of all, I'd like to say for our State of the City address, I wasn't able to attend because we had 2 funerals at the funeral home. But anyway, I want to say that thank God for YouTube. It was a stellar event. Hats off to the staff, to the recipients, and everyone that played a part. You all have set the bar higher and higher for this city. And that is one of my pet peeves. I said, whatever we do, let's do it bigger and better. And before any of the people in the community said, where did you get the funds from? It was an underwrite, so don't think that we spent city dollars to do this. So that was another thing. I'd like to say congratulations to all the recipients. Long overdue that we recognize employees as well as community members that go beyond the call of duty to help make our city a great city in which we all live. I'd like to say congratulations to Sheila Tyson, who graduated with a degree in marketing. I'd like to encourage all staff to continue to forward and get more of your education. Don't just let where you get one place of stepping stone saying, I'm happy right here. Learn all you can while you can. They can't take it from you. Thank you.
Commissioner Kelly.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I do not have any informational items. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Commissioner Cruz.
No informational items either. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I just want to ditto the sentiments of my colleague, Commissioner McCray. State of the City was a great success, first ever. And again, those were not utilized by public dollars, but funded by the private sector. The other thing I want to shout out is staff, Publix, their team, Tommy, and residents from High Point for conducting this park cleanup, cleanup at the cemetery. They had 40 volunteers there. where they leveled the gravestones, picked up garbage, cleaned up dead flowers, weed whacked, and really tidied up the place where we honor, those who have gone. So big kudos to them. We appreciate those efforts, and it's always a positive when we see the city partner with community partners like Publix and provide, labor support, to keep our parks and our city sites clean. The other thing I want to mention is that the mayor has had some medical issues, so I just want to clear the record that she wasn't able to make it tonight, so I don't want anyone to think that she's tardy or absent for other reasons outside of having some medical issues. So I ask that you keep her in your prayers tonight if you're the praying type. With that being said, I'd like staff to, I think we really need to acknowledge Jared from Bethesda Baptist Health in some way, shape, or form. He has been a huge sponsor for this city, Baptist Health more so, but he has really jumped through hoops to make sure that, our residents, our staff, and everyone's taken care of over there. And he's been a great community partner since he's, endured that role. So I really just, if it's okay with my colleagues to make sure that we provide some side of recognition, for him in Baptist Health.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
thank you. I'd like to say I'm glad that, you all spent time to help clean up the cemetery, because when you go there and you see a lot of the litter, I want the records to state it did not come from the residents that's laying there, okay? Thank you.
That's right, Commissioner Craig. All right, if we have nothing further, I'll ask that we move to announcements, community, and special events and presentations. First off, we'll kick it off with, sorry, I don't have the full name here, but S. Elizabeth Martin from the Palm Beach County Commission on Ethics. You guys can come to the podium.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
city officials, vice mayor, and commissioners, and the general public. My name is Kevon Simpson. I'm a student intern at Florida Atlantic University, working with the Palm Beach County Commission on Ethics. This is, go out. This is Elizabeth Martin. She's the education outreach manager in our office. And our goal is to foster integrity in local government. In 2010, the Commission on Ethics was established as a result of a grand jury recommendation in 2009, following a number of ethical issues in our county, some that led to criminal charges. Today, our office provides transparency, oversight, and accountability for more than 10,000 elected officials, public employees, and advisory board members. We also serve 39 municipalities across Palm Beach County. Our role is to administer and enforce the county's ethics laws using fairness, clarity, and common sense. We work to make sure public officials act independently, avoid using their positions for personal gain, and properly reporting things like gifts or voting conflicts. Everyone under our jurisdiction is required to complete our ethics training. This includes county employees, elected officials, advisory board members, and others who work with the county. Our commission is independent from county and municipal governments. It is made up of 5 commissioners who are independently selected by community organizations. One of the most important parts of our work is education. We focus on informing the public and those in government about ethics laws so that problems can be prevented before they happen. Our office provides training, outreach presentations, and helpful resources to the community. You can also find advisory opinions, gift reporting forms, voting conflict forms, outside employment forms, and other information on our website. While the commission does have the authority to issue letters of reprimand or letters of instructions, our main goal is prevention through education. Our motto in the office is ask first, act later. In closing, the Code of Ethics helps ensure transparency and integrity in our local government. Public trust is essential, and we appreciate your support in helping to promote ethical leadership in our community. If you have any questions or would like more information, please contact the Commission on Ethics at 561-355-1915 or follow us on social media at PBCCOE. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving forward. Item 3B, we're going to have a proclamation for Mental Health Awareness and Trauma-Informed Care Month, and I'm going to give it to Commissioner Kelly to take it from here.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I will be reading the proclamation that will be accepted by the Boynton Beach Mental Health Committee founder, Gerda Klein. And so I'll read the proclamation and then you'll join me in the front. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and everyone experiences times of stress and struggles in their lives, and 1 in 4 adults and 1 in 5 youth ages 13 to 18 experiences serious mental illness. 60% of adults and 50% of youth do not receive the treatment necessary for their mental health needs due to limited or no knowledge of the needs, barriers to care, or fear and shame. And whereas research recognizes that adverse childhood experiences, ACEs, are traumatic experiences that can have a profound effect on a child's developing brain and body and can result in poor physical and mental health during childhood and adulthood. And whereas promoting mental health and wellness leads to higher overall productivity, better educational outcomes, lower crime rates, stronger economies, lower health care costs, improved family life, improved quality of life, and increased lifespan. And whereas the City of Boynton Beach recognizes the work of the Boynton Beach Mental Health Committee impacting awareness and education, access to services, and acceptance of the importance of mental health and well-being to a person's overall success, and supports the implementation of trauma-informed approaches throughout the systems of care. Now, therefore, I, Commissioner Amy Kelly, and Mayor Rebecca Shelton of the City of Boynton Beach do hereby proclaim the month of May of 2026 as Mental Health Awareness and Trauma-Informed Care Month. Thank you.
I have my response to it, okay? Good evening. I am Gerda Klein, founder of the Boynton Beach Mental Health Committee. And on behalf of our dedicated members, I'm honored to accept this proclamation and thank you for the city's recognition that May is Mental Health Awareness and Trauma-Informed Care Month. I recognize and thank our committee members and community partners who traditionally stand with us for this presentation, wearing green, the national color for mental health. For the past 11 years, this proclamation, which is taking place in many situations in many locations in the county, signals the start of the county-wide Get Your Green On campaign. This year, we call it Get Your Green On 365 because we want to keep it going all year long. The county's main event of this campaign took place at the Delray Beach Community Center this past Saturday, with an amazing turnout of families from around the county enjoying entertainment, good food, vendors, wellness demonstrations, and discovering helpful resources, all under the theme, Rooted in Resilience. Because when we're rooted in resilience, we just don't survive, we grow, we heal, and we thrive together. Make sure you'll be taking lots of green selfie and group photos on May 19th, which is Get Your Green On Day, and posting them on Facebook. County-wide organizations have scheduled many educational programs and activities throughout this month, listed on the Get Your Green On 365 website. Boynton Beach Mental Health Committee is offering an enlightening mental health book discussion on May 20th at 5:30 at the library on the book The Balancing Act by Nedra Glover Tawwab. Support should feel mutual and not one-sided, she says. What happens when we don't live our lives in balance? Let's read about it, then talk about it. So, men and women, get your copy of the Balancing Act at the City Library and join us. Now I am very pleased to introduce Brianna Mantain, the current Vice President of Teen Coalition in Action, a dynamic program of the Palm Beach County Behavioral Health Coalition, designed to encourage youth to use their own voices to help their communities understand their mental health needs so we can all work together to build a more resilient community. She's going to be reading the other. You want to stand there while she does that? Okay. These youth who are in this program are change makers. I want you to please listen very carefully as Brianna, representing the voices of all county youth, reads the Palm Beach County Youth Proclamation declaring that May 2026 is Mental Health and Trauma-Informed Care Awareness Month. Brianna?
From the teens of Boynton Beach and Palm Beach County, declaring May 2026 as Mental Health and Trauma-Informed Care Awareness Month. Whereas mental health is just as important as physical health, and everyone deserves access to the support they need to heal, grow, and thrive. And whereas life is full of challenges, and as teens, we experience stress, anxiety, and struggles in school, at home, and in our social lives. And whereas 1 in 4 teens will experience a mental health challenge, yet many do not seek help due to stigma, fear, or lack of resources. And whereas trauma, including bullying, loss, family struggles, discrimination, substance use, and violence, affects many of us and can impact how we feel, think, and succeed in life. And whereas healing from trauma and prioritizing mental health requires strong support systems, including friends, family, schools, and communities that understand and uplift us. And whereas talking about mental health openly, learning coping skills, and reaching out for professional help when needed can make a difference in our well-being and future. And whereas our communities, schools, and organizations must continue working together to create safe spaces where every teen feels valued, supported, and heard. And whereas we recognize that youth leadership and advocacy are key to changing the way mental health is understood, ensuring all teens have the resources to navigate challenges and heal from past experiences. And whereas we, the teens of Palm Beach County, stand together to break the stigma around mental health and to promote trauma-informed care that acknowledges our experiences and helps us build resilience. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that May 2026 is Mental Health and Trauma-Informed Care Awareness Month in Palm Beach County, Florida. We call upon all teens to check in with their friends and seek help from a trusted adult when needed. We call upon all families to create open and supportive conversations about mental health. We call upon all schools to provide resources and safe spaces for their students. We call upon all communities to promote awareness and accessibility to mental health services. And we call upon all places of faith to offer compassion and support to those struggling. Together, we can build a county where no young person has to struggle alone.
Thank you so much to the Boynton Beach Mental Health Committee for all you do, and thank you, Commissioner Kelly. We're going to move forward to the next proclamation. This is for National Police Week and Peace Officers Memorial Day. And I'll go ahead and read this into the record. Do I have an idea of who's going to be accepting this proclamation? Chief? Oh, gosh, all right. I'm just kidding. All right. Whereas the Congress and President of the United States have designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which it falls as National Police Week, and whereas the members of the Boynton Beach Police Department play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the citizens of Boynton Beach, and whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of their police department, and that members of our police department recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence or disorder, and by protecting the innocents against deception and the weak against oppression or intimidation. And whereas the Boynton Beach Police Department has grown to be a modern and scientific law enforcement agency that unceasingly provides public service. Now, therefore, I, Thomas Turkin, Vice Mayor of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, do hereby proclaim and I'll call upon all citizens of Boynton Beach and upon all patriotic, civil, and educational organizations to observe the week of May 10th through May 16th as National Police Week. I further call upon all citizens of Boynton Beach to remember Thursday, May 16th, 2026, as Peace Officers Memorial Day. We might want to double check the date on that one. In honor of those peace officers who, through their courageous deeds, have lost their lives or become disabled in the performance of duty, I have thereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, to be affixed at Boynton Beach, Florida, the 5th day of May, 2026. Say that 5 times fast. Go ahead, Chief.
Sure. Thank you for the proclamation. Thank you for the recognition of Police Week. Starting next week on Monday, May 11th at 10 a.m., we're going to have a police memorial ceremony on the front lawn of the police department. We had it last year. It was a wonderful event. Looking forward to seeing everybody, and obviously open to the community to attend as well. This last year, we did lose a former Boynton Beach police officer who was a current officer in Colorado, Detective Troy Raines, so he'll be recognized during that ceremony. But I just want to thank the commission, the city manager's office, for your support, also for lighting up the tower, so thank you. Thank you, Jim. Andrew, you want to say anything?
Oh, I'm good.
Twice in 1 week, you're a lucky guy.
Yeah, I am. Appreciate it. Thanks again. Thank you.
Okay, we are moving on to public audience. As always, it is 3 minutes per person. It is non-transferable, and this is not a Q&A. Same rules as always apply. The speaker must address the commission as a whole and not to any individual on the dais or in the audience. Insults, personal attacks, and disruptions will not be tolerated, and you will be asked to leave should you violate these rules. After we have concluded those in person, we will go to those that are online.
Susan Oyer, Boynton Beach. So I see, according to the newspaper, that that the Town Square project is now called Octavia. So I'm looking forward to learning more about time equities and their role in this. And I'm looking forward to hearing more about this as we move forward. Since we have Police Week coming up now, it'd be a perfect time to honor former officer who passed during COVID, Rick Ross, that we repeatedly bring up. Rick was the man, trained thousands of kids in this community on Taekwondo, karate, whatever it was. I'm sorry, I didn't go. But he really positively impacted our community for decades as a police officer, and we have yet to honor him, and I've been asking for that ever since COVID, so maybe you know, as we're in Police Week coming up, maybe now's the perfect time to do something, whether we're dedicating a park or a statue or something. This man made a tremendous difference in our city's history, and we have yet to do anything. And I want to officially complain about the library. It is entirely too popular. I don't know what has happened, but I can't ever get into any of the classes. I go in to try and apply to sign up for these classes, this Creative Edge workshop thing they have going on, and I'm logging in 2 and 3 minutes late after it starts, and I'm already on the wait list. And there's other people ahead of me on the wait list. This is insane that we can't get into these classes because our library is entirely too fabulous, too wonderful, too great, and they are not offering enough of these classes. So I'm officially filing my complaint with you, Dan, that you need to. I love them. Yeah, I love them, and I want to go more, and I can't because they're always shut down, and I'm always on some wait list, and I have to pray for a whole lot of rain so that I can get in because old people won't show up. So maybe we should start, well, I mean, who wants to come out in our crazy storms we get sometimes? I can't blame them. But maybe we should be adding more of those Creative Edge, the orientation classes, because you can't go anywhere past that without taking that class. And it's insane. You can't get in. And please add more classes to the library. You've created a monster. They're entirely too popular and too wonderful.
Thank you, Ms. Hoyer. Commissioner Hay, come on up.
You recognize me. Woodrow Hay, former commissioner, former mayor. I just want to come up and say a few words about our great city. We're really doing a great job. I was also part of the city statement of the city, you know, all that good stuff. It was very well attended. First class presentation. The mayor did an outstanding job. So I just want to say kudos to that. Also, I'm official now, the PD chaplain for another few years, as long as I can stand up and on this side of the grass. I also like to say that as president of the Mental Health Committee that you just gave the proclamation to, I didn't have my green shirt on because I'm part of another organization called the MVP Men, Men of Vision and Purpose. And we've been doing great work for quite a while here in the city of Boynton Beach, one of which this past Saturday, we served the mothers, pre-Mother's Day dinner, and we served them, and it was a great event. Then we turned around and on, was it Sunday afternoon? Yeah, Sunday afternoon, we served another group of mothers on Mother's Day. And we had the Forest Hill, that used to be Boynton Beach High School choir, to come up, and they put on a presentation, gave several dances. They even did the Michael Jackson show, and it was just phenomenal. But what I would like to say also, kudos to the city and to the PD department. Part of what we do as the MVP is that we work with Ponciana and elementary school. We read to the kids, and we help them during the summer months. And we had a problem trying to find a place that didn't want to charge us an arm and a leg. So I talked with some of the city staff already, and to Chief Joe DeGiulio, and both has said they can work with us and we can work this thing out. We're trying to keep our kids busy off the streets so that we keep them active, because you know, an empty workshop is trouble. So we're trying to make it useful for all the facilities that we have. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good afternoon, evening rather. My name is Brenda Williams. I live at 337 Northeast 24th Avenue. want to acknowledge my commissioner. I wasn't here when they had the swearing-in ceremony because they changed the date, but I wanted to acknowledge him to let him know that I'm glad that he's on the commission.
Thank you.
I have a complaint concerning the code violation that I received regarding my driveway. And I've been in my house since 1975, and I had no violations on my house. I know how to secure my house when there's hurricane season. I don't need anyone telling me what I need to do. And code enforcement said I had to move stuff. You know, you have your garbage bins under your carport, so that can't be there, but they'll be there until I get a warning that the hurricane is on its way. And code enforcement, code compliance, community standards, they were void for almost 15 years. Now that we have a deficit in our budget, now they're coming up with every little thing and harassing the communities about little things. You had the people with the parking. Now you're messing with us in our neighborhood about our driveways. You know, so these are some of the things that irritate people. Now, I understand you gave your State of the Union, as Minister Hayes said, but those are things that everybody don't know nothing about. All we know is what happens when you come in my neighborhood and leave these notices on my door. House next door to me for 15 years have been abandoned. The city took it over. Once they took it over, they haven't done anything. You know, so who am I to complain to about that hazard that's been there for 15 years? So I would appreciate someone getting back to me. These high-rises that we're building in this city is too many. I'm waiting for an accident when you open up that building over there across from Bud's, because you can't turn left. You can only turn right, and somebody's going to have an accident and somebody's going to get killed. And you all need to look into that. Now, you said it was the former commissioners that approved all these high-rises. I would like to know what the occupancy rate is on all these apartments that's been built in this city, because it's atrocious. It takes me 10 minutes to drive off of 3rd Street onto Gateway because the traffic is so backed up. If you want to do something, fill these potholes that's on these streets in my neighborhood.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm gonna ask city manager's office if they can have someone get with her about that, and because the city manager is also the CRA director, maybe look at some options with that avenue as far as, you know, the driveway goes and everything else. Okay, yes.
Good evening. My name is Reverend Cindy Falca Di Corrado, and I stand here today not just for myself, but for every citizen who expects justice, not just procedure. We are told that our judicial system is built on fairness, due process, and equal protection under the law. But what happens when the experience inside the courtroom does not match those promises? When defendants feel rushed, unheard, and intimidated, when testimony is cut short, when rulings seem predetermined rather than carefully considered, when evidence is destroyed. We have to ask, are we preserving justice or just processing people? A courtroom should be a place where truth is welcomed, not restricted, where citizens feel safe to speak, not silenced, where judges uphold not only the law but the spirit of justice, where truth matters and all relevant evidence was allowed to be heard. Because justice is not just about outcomes, nor about integrity in the process. It is about truth and the full and fair presentation of all the evidence that proves it. Public trust in the judicial system is everything. Without it, the system itself begins to erode. I'm asking for accountability, transparency, and a renewed commitment to the rights of the people. I'm asking that we step up to the plate, that we the people are not an inconvenience to the system, that the system exists for us. And one more point, most people don't even know what to do if they find themselves in the system. They don't know they have the right to document what happens. They don't know they can request evidence through discovery. They don't know how important it is to write down the truth of their experience while it is still fresh in their minds. An informed citizen is not a threat to justice. An informed citizen helps preserve it because without knowledge, rights exist only on paper. If we truly care about fairness, then people need access not just to the courts, but to understanding the rights within them. A system that overlooks evidence and still punishes the individual is not operating in justice. It is a failure of justice. Thank you.
Good evening, Commission. My name is Naomi Cobb, and I am a resident of Boynton Beach. I'm at 1007 Southeast 3rd Street in Boynton Beach. I purposely chose to live in Boynton Beach. I've been a resident of Boynton Beach now for 11 years. I've been in my home for 6 years. I come to you tonight because not just as a resident and a citizen of Boynton Beach, but I come as a volunteer, one that sat on that dais as the chair of the CRA Advisory Board. We did great work in this city with great staff. I am a huge supporter of both the CRA and a supporter of you all as a commission, because I've made a presentation before you about the work that we do in that board, and we've worked hard, and we've worked through some tough stuff, and I've worked with some of you on a personal level. What I'm asking for tonight, and I ask this based on being a 50-plus-year-old employee of systems that you work in. I've worked from the federal level to the state level to municipalities into creating nonprofits and running nonprofits for the benefit of those that are in our communities across Florida. I've also had the great pleasure of also providing ethics training to the judiciary in the state of Florida, and have done that many times. What I'm asking for tonight is for you all to, as you're revamping the CRA, that you do so with clear accountability, that you do it and never forget a volunteer's role in what we do in this city. It's not just you all, it is all of us too, who are just members of this community. I ask you for guidance and grace in the decisions that you're considering around the CRA. It is not an easy task, but I'm asking you to consider these things: fairness, clarity, and common sense. I want to leave my home to my children. They're in their 30s. I want them to return as residents here in Boynton Beach. I want to see our communities grow. Change is difficult. Seeing two members that I have had great relationships with leave is a burden in my heart. But I'm not here to talk about them specifically as much. I'm here to appeal to your hearts and to your minds and to your common sense about the CRA. I am still a volunteer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please come on up.
Aloha. Hi. My name is Stephanie Coliani. First of all, I'm here to practice my public speaking. So I'm super, super nervous. Very intimidating.
Don't be nervous.
And I'm always nervous.
Don't be
Okay.
nervous.
Let's start. I have two things to go over. I know, get the shimmers out, and you were wonderful. Okay. I am actually the chair of the board of the library. Non-biased opinion, we do have the greatest library on the planet. Let's be real. Also, Brian is in charge of the creative studio as the board chair. I still can't get in, so I second that emotion. But I wanted to say kudos, public speaking for Jeannie Taylor. She just recently retired as the director. She was absolutely lovely and wonderful. I know she did a lot for this library, and I'm very excited for Tiffany Pagan stepping into her shoes. Very excited to see what she comes out of that. So kudos to the library team and all of that grooviness. I think that's super awesome what they're doing. And please come visit me at the library meetings where I sit up there, and it's even worse, trust me. Yeah, don't give me a microphone. The other thing I'm a part of that I'm really, really proud to say we are organizing and getting back together is our local Sister Cities chapter. So Boynton Beach Sister Cities, I've been the vice president. We took a bit of a year to reorganize, get our poop together, and trying not to curse. And we had a meeting a couple weeks ago. We have a lot of great events coming up in 2026, some fundraising, some great parties and galas that we would love to go into, as well as looking into future sister cities across the world as well. So I'm very excited to go ahead and mention that, and hopefully, now that I'm a little bit more calm, you'll see me at more commission meetings, and I'll come up just to say hi, because I want to. And that's what I have to say. Yay!
Good
I
job.
survived.
Thank you.
Good job,
I
Stephanie.
survived.
You did great. You did great. Please, ma'am.
Hi, Melissa Hagens, 2240 Northwest 2nd Street. Second house north of Gateway Bridge. I've addressed this issue probably in 2001 about the drainage system near my home because I pretty much get flooded. And so long time ago, I dug my own ditch. I asked them what they would do, and they told me they wouldn't put a drainage system in. So I dug my own ditch. They did tell me it was too deep. So they came in and they dug a ditch, actually dug a ditch and filled mine in a little bit. So we have some things going on in Boynton Beach, and some of them are nice. I love the underground electricity, and we have speed bumps now. But I'm concerned about the flooding because you're moving God's earth with all this construction, and they're gonna widen Gateway, so that's closer to my home. So now I'm wondering what you guys are gonna do about the drainage system, because literally I know I probably would get flooded this time. I have got flooded one time. My car, literally on April the 8th, it rained, not stormed, and I couldn't get out of my driveway. So I have had water to come all the way up to my door. My car was flooded. They had to rip it apart and try to put it back together. So I'm really concerned on what you guys have in plan on the drainage system once y'all start widening Gateway Bridge. I would like to know that. And I personally, I have had, which people, no one knows, I mean, my sons, and I have literally paid people to clean that hill because people come and trash it so. And I was hoping that you guys, one time you did fence it off, but someone cut the fence. I was hoping y'all had maybe y'all was gonna put a wall or something there, because one time the mayor was talking about put a sidewalk there. Why, I don't know. The people that live up the road, they can walk around. They shouldn't come down to the end. They don't come and try to take care of the place. It's another way that they can get, to the main highway. So I'm hoping y'all can help me out with that too, because literally I came out of my pocket to have people to clean that hill. And because they used to have the convicts and stuff clean it, but that's no longer in, they don't do that. And anybody knows, well, the police should know that if somebody come into my neighborhood, I do have cameras and I will give it to them, because I don't want violence, I don't want trash, I want a decent neighborhood. I am a citizen, and I would like you guys have codes and stuff that we have to abide by. Now, I'm hoping you guys I'm just one person, I'm on down on the end. Everybody's not getting flooded, so everybody might not be concerned about me, but I hope you guys are.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm going to ask staff if we have someone from Stormwater Utilities to maybe get with her. I know we have a few projects ongoing. And maybe her residence is in one of those projects, so if staff can get with her, that'd be great.
Vice Mayor, yeah, I was just gonna also with Andrew, if Kevin can get with her, because FDOT is the one who's doing that project at Gateway. I think Gateway's the next one after Boynton Beach Boulevard, so if he can get with her and just maybe they can look at the FDOT plans and make sure that there's some plan in place to see what their plan is for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Reverend Ames, please.
Good evening. Pastor Richard Dames, a long time resident of Boynton Beach, not as long as former Vice Mayor Hay, but I've been here for a very long time. I wanted to come tonight to express my appreciation for the mayor's State of the City address on last week, and particularly the fact that how well our leaders performed at that event. It was very, very impressive. But I want to share with you what I witnessed on last Friday. It is my prayer that as leaders of this city that we will continue to see that for the remainder of this year. As leaders, you all expect for residents to come here and to demonstrate decorum. Well, as residents, we expect the same out of our leaders, to demonstrate decorum. It appears that whenever this city does something good, and there are a lot of things that are good that are taking place, we take 3 steps forward and then we take 5 steps backwards. We're told as ministers of the gospel to pray for those who are in positions of authority. And we do pray for you all. But it's also my prayer that what we witnessed on last Friday, that you all will have decorum and respect for each other, sitting here and continue to make the best decisions that these residents have nominated and elected you for, and that is to look out for their best welfare. So I implore you, let's continue to make Boynton Beach a great city, a city that people want to come and reside in for years and years to come. Let's do it as a community of one. We can be better than what we are. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Reverend Dames. Do we have anyone else from the audience that'd like to speak? All right, come on up, sir. Last call for anyone in the audience, then we're going to move to online.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm want to help. We got those talk for those speed bumps. We still need 2 more. Because they still speeding down now. Okay? Some people don't want it, but...
Sir, can you just state your name for the record?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
Willie
okay.
Roberts. I'm at 249 Northwest 28th Avenue and 2nd Street. Also, 2681.
Perfect. That'll do, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Continue. We'll give you back your time.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand we got those underground things that going on and the cables going on, but we ain't getting our garbage picked up. Okay? It's garbage on the ground now. Okay? Been there since, I guess, Monday. Mine's been there since last week. And we need to get, I mean, I know they have backups. I work for the city of Boynton, and I work for the city of Boca. And I know the system inside and out. Okay, and I know just the button to push to get what you want done. So even at that rate, it doesn't matter. I know that the garbage shouldn't be on the ground. That's what I'm concerned about now. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to online. Commissioner Kelly, do we have anyone online?
Vice Mayor, there's nobody online. Thank
All
you.
right, perfect. That concludes public comment. We're going to move on to the administrative portion of the agenda. Advisory board and appointments. The first one goes to Commissioner Mac McCray for the Art Advisory Board.
I'd like to appoint Anthony Garofalo.
Second.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second from Commissioner Cruz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously. Next one that we have an applicant for is the Education, Youth, and Advisory Board. And that goes to Commissioner Kelly.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I would like to select DeLauren Mondesir as the alternate on the Education and Youth Advisory Board.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Kelly, and we have a second from Commissioner McCray. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it unanimously. All right. Next portion is community support funds. We have community support funds requests from Commissioner Kelly, which are Boynton Beach, the high school, Boynton Beach High School BASA program, Boynton Aerospace Science Academy, the Holiday Basket Program, Connect to Greatness, Boynton Beach Bulldogs, Bill Tomei, and the Women's Foundation. Do you have any money left?
Well, just a reminder, the fiscal year is coming up, so I took advantage and got them all knocked. I think I have $250 left that I'm saving just in case. But yeah, thank you, Vice Mayor. I had the honor of touring Boynton Beach High School's Aerospace Academy last year. And they have, last summer was the first time that they competed. They ended up in, I think, like 40th out of 160 teams at their summer competition. So I am honored to help them with this competition. I encourage anyone who has some extra funds, to consider that. It's a great program. These kids, they graduate from high school with a drone pilot's license. Some of them graduate with an actual pilot's license. Their aerospace program is top-notch. It is nationally known, and we really should be pushing, and putting that at the forefront. You haven't toured it. They have airplane parts and pieces on campus that the students are actually working on. It's an amazing program. So I wanted to take a moment to just highlight that. And of course, our holiday basket, Sheila Tyson has agreed to take that on and run with it this year. We're hoping to do even better than last year. So if anyone else has some community support funds, they're looking for places. And of course, all of our locals, the Boynton Beach Bulldogs and Bill Tomei Foundation, Connect to Greatness, and the Women's Foundation all do really great work in our community. And so I'm happy to support them this year. So thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve?
Approve.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner McCray. Does anyone want a second for discussion?
Yeah, for
All right,
discussion.
second. Commissioner Cruz, go ahead.
I did have a request for community support funds, and it was for cystic fibrosis, $1,000, and the city clerk has the paperwork, so just wanted to add it to the.
Awesome.
Perfect. Are we okay to add that in? As far as procedure goes, do we need to
I didn't hear what
adjust the motion?
Commissioner Cruz said, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Commissioner Cruz.
I was requesting $1,000 of community support funds for a cystic fibrosis foundation in Palm Beach County.
She was not requesting it. She was requesting to use her support funds.
Yes, I was
For,
requesting to use.
Motion to include that in the motion that I made.
Does that
Second.
suffice? Yeah, I'm getting like a mixed body language there.
I mean, the best practice would be to motion to amend the agenda to add those additional community support funds and then go ahead and proceed with the motion.
Motion to amend the agenda.
All right, we have a motion to amend the motion. We have a second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Motion passes unanimously. All right, we're going to move forward to consent agenda.
Now we have to do a motion to.
Oh, I apologize.
Yep, no, you're fine. It's a tricky
We were
thing.
just doing, so we're doing the rest.
Nah, we're doing
Okay,
the rest.
motion to approve the,
Community support funds.
do we have a motion to
Motion
approve
to
this?
approve.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner
Second.
McCray, second from, we'll give that one to Commissioner Cruz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, the ayes have it unanimously. Now we'll move forward to 6A, consent agenda. Do any of my colleagues want to see this presentation or pull this item, since there is only one? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Kelly, second from Commissioner McCray. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it unanimously. Moving on to consent bids and purchases. Do I have anyone that wants to pull from this section?
Vice Mayor, I want to pull 7A just because there was some changes from
Agreed.
our agenda review that I wanted to just speak about, so I'll pull that item.
I will support that.
To approve the remainder of consent bids to purchases.
All right, perfect. We have a motion from Commissioner Cruz
Second.
to approve the remainder of consent bids and purchases. We have a second from Commissioner McCray. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed say nay. The ayes have unanimously. If I can have staff come up and present 7A, that'd be great.
In the meantime, I just wanted, I think it's also important that we pulled this item just to kind of highlight this for the public also, that we've made the move to get a concession at our beach. It's something that we have not had at the beach for a very long time, and so we're excited to get that up and running. So thank you, staff, for doing this presentation.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Vice Mayor, Commissioners, staff, and members of the public. My name is Fabian Derlo. I am here to present the snack bar concession agreement proposal between the City of Boynton Beach and Dope Venture Partners. Short presentation here for you guys, and if you want additional information, we have a secondary one through the actual proposed vendor. So first and foremost, contract terms. So this initial contract, jumped back. This initial contract is proposed for 4 years, so it would run through 2030. There's one additional 4-year term renewal option, 180 days written notice required for any non-renewal or any cancellations and such. Termination for cause, 30-day cure period with written notice. Termination for convenience, a minimum of 6 months written notice by the city. There will be a $5,000 security deposit issued upon move-in. There's an equipment advance of $19,269 to provide the proper equipment for them to run this operation, refrigerators, heaters, chillers, all of those things. And this operation will run a minimum of 40 hours a week. So the hours of operation will still be determined, but the minimum would be 40 hours a week providing service to the public. They'll have 2 staff on hand at all times and 3 staff during peak hours. The revenue and the rent schedule. So for this, there is a 4-month waiver, which has kind of been our standard in recent years for new vendors that we bring on board, just to get the business established. The rent is set at $1,800 a month. The initial year, depending on move-in, would be about $14,400, and it would total out to $21,600 in the following subsequent years, with a totaling out to $79,000 over the course of the agreement. There's some late charge information on the right-hand side there, just so there's a bit more understanding, as well as underpayment if that takes place. So we do have policies and procedures in place in the case that that takes place. So our provider has both plant-based and non-plant-based options to serve the community, so we'll just go through the menu quickly. Starting with some of the plant-based items, as you can see on the left-hand side here. A lot of these mimic some of the offerings on the non-plant-based side too. Standards are kind of your sandwiches, your burgers, a chicken sandwich, as well as a chicken parm. There's many salads, which are kind of standard across the board, whether you're vegan or non-vegan. We have a classic Caesar, the wrap of the day, acai bowls, as well as a bok bowl. And we have some value combos that we had them toss into the menu as well, too, in case anybody is looking to get something that's more value effective for the entire family, as well as plant-based hot dogs above that. And then on the second page, we have some of our traditional items towards the bottom. 7 items, traditional, kind of match some of the items on the plant-based side. We have hot dogs, a hot dog combo, chicken wrap, turkey and cheese wrap, chicken Caesar salad, ham and cheese croissant, as well as a chicken salad croissant. We have small plates above that as well, too. Hand-cut chips, corn, seasonal side salad, as well as egg rolls. We have sweet treats. We think the beverages are going to be big out there as well, too, especially with our summers getting hotter and hotter. Cold-pressed juices, fresh lemonade, smoothies, as well as for the mornings, we have iced coffees and hot coffees, as well as matcha to offer to the public. And that is it for the initial presentation. Do you guys have any questions on the basics?
Commissioner McCray, please.
Thank you. I have one. explain to me more or less about this dope burger. I'm just saying, it's, it's supposed to be, friendly for families. Tell me what it is. I'm just saying, 'cause it's
Absolutely.
kinda turn off the
Well,
beat.
yes, the vendor can absolutely tell you more about it, but I can say for myself that it's delicious. This vendor was at our Taste of Boynton event. That was probably the biggest hit, was the burger. As well as they do a lot of work around Palm Beach County, and they have quite the following, especially due to that item. So if you would like to say a little bit more on that.
Thank you so much. This is an honor. So our dope burger is basically, it's a vibe. It's our most popular signature burger. It has vegan bacon, it has lettuce, tomatoes, caramelized onions, just everything you can think of when you think of a traditional burger that you just want to indulge in. That is what we do at Dope Vegan. It's all about the flavor. It's fun. It's family oriented. And we really put our heart into everything we do.
I just wish you all could have found a suitable name, but you all say it's out there. But my next question is about hours of operation. You said peak hours. What hours are we looking at? Weekends? I'm just saying,
Yes, definitely the weekends. We'll be closed about 1 day a week, and then for the rest of the week we'll be open, join from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. to 6, yes.
Absolutely. What will be that one day?
Probably like a Monday, like the least busiest day.
Thank you. Do you have anything? Seeing none. Commissioner Cruz? I do have a couple questions myself. We had a lengthy conversation during the agenda review last week. Commissioner McCray had brought up a good point about the naming. Being a millennial, I know what dope means, and I know what both terms means. It means really cool or it means drugs, right? So I think it's important that we create a name, and I did see it in the email. However, I did not see this in the backup unless I missed it in the agenda that there was a change to the name. And a lot of that lengthy conversation was maybe not to highlight the vegan so much, but really make it appealing to people who may be deterred from vegan. And so I didn't see that in the backup. I want to get some clarity on that because what I did see that was emailed was, I think, exactly what we were looking for. Is I think it was like Boynton Beach, like concession stand or something like that.
Absolutely.
I would like to see that. I want anyone who goes in there to be successful. Absolutely. And I think it's important, that first impressions are done in a way that doesn't deter anybody, and I could see that being an issue. The other thing is the type of lease this is. I know it's not uncommon to have some type of percentage lease with the city. I didn't see anything that was a revenue driver for the city or some type of contribution or revenue or share program. For $1,800 a month on the beach, you have a great deal, especially with 4 months rent, to help the business get off and get on the feet, and your food is amazing. However, I think we would be doing the residents in the city a disservice if we don't incorporate some type of percentage lease to where, maybe we designate a revenue share based on your operating income. So it's not a set, amount monthly, but if you do well, then the city does well. I think that's fair. We've done that in other practices. Cities do that in other practices. So for me, I would love to move forward, but I would like the city to get some form of benefit as well, as far as the lease structure goes. So I don't know if that's something that we can decide tonight, if the body needs to discuss that before we move forward, or if there's an opportunity to negotiate the contract further. We got summer coming up, and so I know you guys want to try to get you guys in there as soon as possible. But, I just want to make sure that, when we're doing these public-private partnerships, a lot of these vendors are paying revenue to the city. And so I want to make sure that, we're giving you a good opportunity, but also that we're making sure we're being fiscally minded for our residents in the city as well.
Absolutely. In regards to the name and the stuff that you mentioned first, we can absolutely speak on that, I'm sure. We had a conversation the other day about how some different ideas of how we can approach that because, of course, we as well as they don't want the name to be a concern or anything that could potentially deter anybody. If we have, okay, we have procurement here as well too, so they can discuss a little bit more of the rationale on the, because we discuss percentage as opposed to a flat rate rent, so they can speak on that. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the name, we talked about DV at the beach. We normally go by DV anyway, so that's something that our customers kind of know us for. And we also are completely fine with the Boynton Beach concession powered by DV or powered by Dope Vegan. I think that's really like the least for us. I believe this is a great opportunity, and just to be able to show people that plant-based is like amazing. It's not only is good for you, but it's also come such a long way. So it's going to be inclusive, not just plant-based. We'll also have traditional options. So yes.
Yeah, and I think that's great. And I'll be the first critic of vegan food, but when we tried it, it was absolutely amazing. I just want to make sure that, you know, people who walk by and they see vegan, they might be deterred. And ultimately, that's only going to hurt you, and it's only going to hurt the city and them because they don't have an opportunity to try it. And so I think that that name and that branding is important, at least when it comes to this site particularly.
I have one other
Yes.
concern. Thank you. Eco-friendly, I'm just saying, you know, what type of utensils you all will be using. I'm just saying for beach cleanup and stuff like that. I don't want us to put a restaurant over there, your place over there, and people start complaining about trash, you know, but, you know.
Great point. That's a great point.
Yeah, definitely sustainability. Even at our current location, we use paper straws. We're really big on recyclables. So it's just kind of inner fiber. It's a given, yes.
Right, whatever needs to be worked out, I'm in favor of working it out so that we can go ahead and get you all in. I'm in favor of moving ahead, you know, and I like vegan, but I'm not gonna run over nobody to get it, okay? I still like my burgers.
Yes, Commissioner Cruz, did you have something? No? You look like you have something, no? All right. So yeah, if we can hear from procurement about the lease, because I have one more question.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Commission, City Management, City Attorney. Andrew Ozadowski, your Procurement Director. So the $1,800 a month, we looked at basically what some of their contracts we have in the city, and there's some where, you know, they're 3% on $5,000, which literally comes out to like $100 a month. You know, it's to have these numbers, and Alan can, you know, echo this, to set up contracts like this, allows us to budget better, allows us to understand our revenue. You know, we'll do whatever the commission wants at the end of the day, but we just kind of took, you know, a different look on this whole thing, and especially with our CFO coming from the private sector, you know, he had a lot of input to the thing.
Thank you, Andrew.
What we did was we actually upped the rent, basically looking at what we thought the revenue was going to be to kind of cover that, to guarantee that going forward, because there are also a lot of days where the beach isn't working due to inclement weather and things like that. So what we ended up doing, working with them, was, hey, let's up the rent, because reconciling $150, I'm looking at from a resource perspective, it actually costs the city more to reconcile $200, $300. So that was really kind of what we did from a cost plus analysis.
Fair point. My other question is, so my understanding is that a 4-year contract, and so does that rate stay the same for those 4 years, or is there going to be a CPI increase?
There is no CPI increase, no.
So I would be, I think.
Actually, no.
No, wait, hold on.
Okay.
I don't think it is. I think we had an escalator in there.
I think there is a 3% escalator. I don't remember.
I can't see that because I don't have my glasses on.
It says rent shall increase at a rate of 5% over the
5%.
base
Yeah.
rent
5%,
during year
yeah.
4 of the initial term.
Correct.
During year 4, but not annually. So it seems like that percentage increase starts after the first term of the contract.
Yes, so our idea was we wanted to get them off the ground and running. I mean, if it's your prerogative for us to sit back and go negotiate with them again and basically say.
Well, I just
we'll
think when we
growth.
look at the contracts, you know, to not do a CPI increase, it's bad business practice, I think. Ultimately, I have no doubt in my mind that this business will be successful there. What I don't want to do is set a precedent that we're not doing CPI increases, so everyone can flood to the city of Boynton and say, we want that contract, we want what they have. And so I think it's fair, it's common practice to do an annual CPI increase, or at the very minimum, leave that for annual negotiations.
We can do that.
So I think
If
that
that's-
could be a common ground, where we can get this thing started. Maybe it's not a revenue share, but to be fair to all the other vendors in the city, future vendors, I think it's good practice, it's good business to incorporate or at least discuss a CPI increase instead of just doing a 4-year contract and be locked in. We never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We might have some unforeseen costs that the tenant is not going to be on the hook for. So I don't want us to be on the hook for that. And then again, set the precedent that, we're going to give you a great rent. We're going to give you 4 months, and you're also not going to have a CPI increase because ultimately, then we do it for one, then people could argue we need to do it for all. So my position would be, move forward as it is without the revenue contract, but at least allow language in the contract that we can negotiate a CPI increase annually because that's good business practice.
Very reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's up to my colleagues, but that's my position. I think that's fair for everyone. If the tenant's here, if she thinks that's fair, I think that's fair. I'd like to move.
Offer a motion, please, on that aspect, that CPI increase. I'm just saying we come back once a year and negotiate.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the contract with an amendment to allow an annual CPI, negotiation.
Well, we could simplify it. I think 5% is certainly fair.
Yeah, what if we were
But that, but from my understanding,
Talking to Mike.
Depends, yeah.
Oh, I think that's like, we could lock it in at 5%. I think that's pretty standard and fair, which I don't think.
we
from
want to
a-
lock it in at 5%, but we're going to start this annually.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
At year 2.
I
Year
agree with
two.
year 2,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course,
Give them
yeah.
at least
Yeah.
2 full years to actually, get
Going into
going
year
and
two.
running,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
fair.
All right, so we have a motion from Commissioner McCray to move forward with the contract as it's presented before us with an amendment to instill a 5% annual rent increase beginning year 2. Is that correct?
Did I say all that? Yeah, it's correct.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Congratulations, Dope Vegan. Or Boynton Beach concession, I should say.
DV at the beach. Yay.
Okay, moving forward, we will now go to, we have nothing on public hearing, great, that's always nice. We're gonna move forward to the city manager's report. I'm gonna ask before the city manager starts, because I know there's some lengthy presentations. If not today, maybe at the next meeting, can we address this budget deficit hoopla I keep seeing in the meetings? And, we can't pass a budget being in a deficit. So I think that's important to address a lot of misinformation that's going around, because I don't want to instill doubt, because I don't think that's what's happening here.
No, it's not what's happening. This started with a journalist by the name of Chris Prasad with the Palm Beach Post, and he took every single year, every administration has to essentially prepare a budget for the city commission to adopt and pass. And during the process, we always have personnel requests. We have to do our revenue projections. So there's a lot of flux in any budget that you do, and a lot of the budget is projection. So whenever we had our kickoff meeting, it was learned that we had about a $6 million budget deficit that we had to smooth and present you guys, the board, with a balanced budget to pass, and without doing any sort of fund balance appropriation. And through that, this journalist or reporter decided to run with the title 4.9 million budget deficit, which is tremendously inaccurate. So the state of Florida does not allow any government entity, specifically counties and municipalities, and this is 101 stuff, so you can't pass an unbalanced budget. So that's where this whole rhetoric came from. There is no budget deficit this year. There's not going to be a budget deficit next year. But there are different transformative initiatives that we want to look at as far as like being able to lower the city's millage rate, maybe remove assessments, and look at different ways that the taxpayer is going to be beneficial and still enjoy the same quality of services. So a lot of the rhetoric out there I don't really respond to, because if I had to go out there and defend everything that the government's doing and all the rumors and journalists and the Palm Beach Post articles and things like that, I wouldn't be getting a job done. So that's where it comes from. That's where it was originally talked about, but going forward, I don't really think that from the city's perspective, I'm even going to choose to respond to that specific journalist or amongst others with the Palm Beach Post. So that's unfortunately the city's stance that we're going to have to take, because a lot of the reporting is inaccurate.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. I just want to make sure that the residents know and the public knows that this is completely spun out of reality, and which is no surprise. But thank you for that clarification. And if we can have staff start with the city manager's report, I don't know if you want to introduce it or if your staff is ready to present this item.
Thank you. At our last meeting, you asked for an update, and I think going forward, we're doing some very specific updates, but I think quarterly we will be bringing back to you a update on the CIP in general. Our new CIP division director started today, or Monday, and so we're looking forward, and hopefully he'll be the one doing that at the next meeting. I do have a couple of the directors here. We have Poonam Kalkit, Fabian's going to do something for playgrounds, and then Kevin's going to finish it up for paving.
Perfect, thank you.
Excuse me, Andrew, before we move forward, you said we have a new CIP director. What is the name?
Sean Shutton.
Are they here?
I don't believe he's here today, sorry. We'll make sure he's here at the next meeting, though.
Thank you. Should have been here.
All right.
I tried to chain him to his desk, but he found the key.
That's right. You guys scared him already. Okay, Dr.
Evening.
Calcutt, please.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, City Manager, Deputy City Manager, residents. We're going to have David Cohen here. He is our consultant for this project for Chapel Hill drainage improvement. So he's going to give you an update on this. We have been working hard on this. We are almost up to 60% design, so really moving forward. But we don't have necessarily the money that will be needed, as you'll see in their estimated costs or probable costs. So we are looking for grants. In their contract, the scope of work also included looking for grants. So they are actively looking at that, and they've attended some seminars. They'll talk a little bit about that. But this is a brief presentation on where we are with the drainage project, the proposed timeline on it, as how the grant funding will work, and just to kind of update you, and we can bring back updates down the road in the next few months. So I'll give it up to David.
Thank you. I want to thank the commission and the director for giving us an opportunity to share an update with you guys today. So we're going to be updating on the Chapel Hill improvement drainage improvement project. If you want to go, do we have a clicker, or is the next slide? Oh, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. All right. So so far we've completed a significant amount of work. We've done a complete drainage basin model for the whole Chapel Hill neighborhood. That let us evaluate an existing condition versus some proposed conditions to evaluate what would be the most preferred solution. We resolved some issues about the allowable discharge and how much water can leave the basin, and that's a permitting issue. We have a we had some pre-application meetings with the permitting agencies to understand what their requirements would be and start working through those tasks. We identified the fact that there's a stormwater quality need in this area. I'll talk more about Lake Ida and kind of the impairment that's there. We did a preliminary stormwater pump station design that allowed us to kind of really get the right size pumps for the proposed condition that that was proposed in the preliminary drainage report. Did a comprehensive area-wide utility review, so the design that we proposed, we knew could be constructed, and then did a lot of grant research to try to find additional funds for the city to be able to fund some of this project. So one of the things that were a design challenge was the previous conceptual design placed the pump station in the northern park in this neighborhood. That resulted in a very long force main with larger pumps. So when we were proposing on this project, we suggested the location at the end of Sunset Road, which is a parcel that the city currently owns already. And by placing it there, we were able to remove over 3,000 linear feet of force main, reducing the size of the pumps and that cost associated with that force main construction. We also resolved the allowable discharge. The conceptual design didn't address how much water was leaving the site, and we determined what that amount was, and then we're able to size the pump station at a smaller capacity, still getting good results from the improvements, and that is a permitted amount, like an amount that we would be able to permit based on how much water is currently leaving the basin. Lake Ida was identified as an impaired water body for total phosphorus, meaning that we needed to provide additional water treatment. The E4 canal that you see kind of right next to that star there is where this whole basin pretty much discharges to, and that runs to Lake Ida. And so we have to remove a significant amount of phosphorus to meet those requirements from the Florida DEP. And then to do that, we included exfiltration trenches up in the upstream areas of the basin, but then we also added a bioswale retention and detention facility to be able to remove those nutrients. And that created an amenity additionally for the area as an approach. So throughout the preliminary design report, there's a bunch of exhibits, but just to highlight kind of the modeling that was done, you can see here on the left-hand side, the existing 3-year storm. This is a typical storm that we use to be able to see the performance of different options. And so we compared all the options at the same amount of rain being applied. The existing condition is on the left side, and I highlighted 3 areas that were previously inundated during a large event and the flooding that occurred there. And if you look over on the right-hand side for the proposed solution, you can see a significant amount of that orange and red being removed and improvements from the proposed stormwater system. What I'll also bring to your attention is the top graph here shows the existing condition, and you can see that the water stage in this neighborhood rises up after a storm and stays high for a long period of time after the storm. The proposed solution that we have, you can see, immediately draws back down to a significantly low level. So when we get those storms that come back to back, we're able to recover with the system that's being proposed, opposed to other options that we compared. So as part of the preliminary design activities, we take the the design that's being proposed, and we come up with an engineer's opinion of probable cost. It's a significant amount of money, $20 million. Some of the things that affected the cost included inflation over time. The conceptual design was several years ago, and so as construction has occurred, these numbers are based on current bids that we've recently received from other contractors throughout the county, and we try to price those using those, and then the Florida DOT's current historical price index that's a rolling average. Another thing that affected the cost is the level of design that we did. We've completed a detailed design at this point, where the last design was based more on a conceptual design. So this is a more accurate picture of what the actual construction would cost. And then because it's a lot of money and we know it wasn't exactly what the city was anticipating, we have presented some ideas in terms of how maybe the construction could be phased over a year or two to be able to start construction in one fiscal year and look how we could finish it in another year, or how the grants could roll out. I will bring to your attention 2 other points. One is that this is an opinion of cost based on our best information that we have today. Bids are, may vary from what this is. It really will be subject to the market at the time when we get this project out. But I will also bring to your attention that, I'll flip to the next slide. We were, this project, I've lost my control. What did I do?
Batteries? Maybe. There we go.
There it goes.
Delay.
Oh, yeah, that's what I needed. All right, we're there. So this project particularly was ranked second out of 136 projects in Palm Beach County's priority list from the local mitigation strategies grants. So this positions this project specifically in a really good a place in terms of getting funding when that funding gets appropriated by the state and their, and they finish up their budgeting process. Second, there's additional funding opportunities from the state other than the local mitigation grants that can be stacked on top of that local mitigation grant to help fund what isn't covered by that, both federal and state. We sat in on a webinar today that was a FEMA-driven BRIC grant that's coming out. They reissued the BRIC grants that was a FEMA program, and so we sat in on it today and looking for other opportunities. These other opportunities include some natural area type grants and that we're able to to get access to because of the bioswales and some of the other water quality features that we're including in the process. The bioswale, you can kind of see the exhibit in the center of the slide there, includes some dry detention areas that the pump station lifts up to, and then a wet detention area that provides more treatment. And then we had some trails just around the levee on that. And that will address the Lake Ida impairment issue that we have in terms of nutrient removal. And it provides that additional access to different grants. So the staff asked us to prepare a timeline on the potential project here. So we should be finalizing our design around August. That will lead us into the permitting and final plans process. That'll be in November of this year. After that permitting process and final plans are prepared, we can use those plans to be able to apply for grants. March, August 2027. That process will take a little bit of time. Obviously, state agencies and federal agencies have their own schedules that we need to work inside of, but we've identified those different schedules and when we need to get stuff into them to be able to be in the next season of grants opportunities. Moving into August, December, getting some kind of award for a start of like March for that we could do the procurement and award process with construction starting May of 2028. So that's the last slide. So I can answer any questions or defer to the utility director. I'm happy to.
Great, thank you. Do you have anything?
Thank you. I really don't have a question, but I have a comment. You know, we heard a lady appear before us tonight and talked about, drainage problems. And for Chapel Hill, this is long overdue. I'm just saying, hopefully we can get grants to help mitigate some of the costs, but I'm just saying, the longer we sit on it, the longer we wait, the worse it's going to get. And I'm just saying, rain is something that we cannot stop, and it's coming.
Good.
Get all the money you can, though, to help us out.
Yes.
So I agree with you, Commissioner McCray. My comments, I think, may be synergistic to probably the next presentation. So a few years ago, we discussed this project, and there was confusion as to where it was placed in the budget and what fiscal year. I was not happy about that. Then it was postponed to the next year. And there was a conversation of paving the roads within this neighborhood, but then the conversation turned into, well, we're doing a drainage project, so it doesn't make sense to then rip up the roads. I conceded. I said, you know what? That's okay. We're doing some of them, but now we're able to spread out those roads throughout different districts. We were doing a citywide road paving project, and now we neither have road paving in the neighborhood, nor do we have a stormwater project, nor do we apparently have the funds for the stormwater project. So this has put, I think, everyone in a position to where, we have to take some form of action, like Commissioner McCray had mentioned. And, my position would be we don't know for sure if we're going to get this grant funding. This is all speculation, this is hopes. And so what I would like to propose to my colleagues and hopefully have the support for is as we move into this budget year, that we start earmarking for this specific project. And if we do get the grant funding, then great, we can utilize those funds elsewhere or put them back from where we received them from. Because I do not want to kick this can down the road. In addition to that, I would like to move forward with the road paving. I think the other thing in regards to that is, from what I understand, this is our last contractual year with the current vendor that we use for road paving. And so I know there's some price obligations there that they have to adhere to. And what I don't want to happen is that the cost significantly goes up at the end of this contractual agreement. And then now we're stuck in a position where we can't pave the roads. I know the road paving is significantly less than what this stormwater project is. And so we have to give the residents something. This kicking down the road, this bait and switch, this pushing it 1 year, then no, we can't do it, or it's just not, it's not okay. I'm done having this conversation, and it's time to deliver these residents in this neighborhood, you know, some type of relief when it comes to their infrastructure. And so I would ask for support from my colleagues to move forward with a budget amendment, to come back with us to pave the roads, and then also as we move into the budget discussions, to earmark funding for this, as I think the consultant made a very good point that we could potentially scale this project to where it's done annually in phases, and I think that's more feasible. And then if we do get the grant funding, that's great. We ranked second, I think, out of 136 projects. And from what I understand with the hazard mitigation, is if we do have a hurricane, then we will get access to those funds. Am I correct with that sentiment?
That's correct, but even if we don't get hit by a hurricane, even
a
if
state of
another.
emergency is declared.
Yes, so they can still, once they use whatever funds are requested by the area that's impacted, those funds get opened up for everybody else to use. So being in positioning ourselves so that we are high on the LMS list, and as well as applying for these in time is what makes it better for us. What we can't do is we can't complete the project, then go for a grant, and then get the reimbursement for that. So that can't happen. So we will have to apply, whatever grants we apply for, they have to be used for those projects. We can't use the funds for anything else. But you're correct that it is reimbursable most of the time. So we have to figure out how much budget-wise, what can we put out, and then go through that.
I think either way, the solution is earmarking funds, because if we don't get the grant, then we've essentially kicked the can down the road another 2-3 years, and then there's the argument of redesign has to happen now. Then you have to pay for another $1 million redesign, and then you have to then the cost increases, and so it's just not good practice. It's not, frankly, not good business, and so, you know, my position is strong in that I hope I get the support that we direct staff to earmark, with the hopes that we are able to get awarded a grant and then move forward with paving the roads, because, you know, the residents deserve some form of relief. And if we do have that grant funding, you know, that's a great thing that we can communicate is, hey, we didn't, you know, do these roads twice because we received federal money or state money in order to complete this stormwater infrastructure. So if there's sentiment that, you know, we paved the roads and then they were dug up, you know, we have the ability to explain, you know, here's the why, right? It wasn't just, you know, oversight. It was, you know, calculated that we wanted to get relief because we don't have answers. You know, we don't have predictions on how we're going to get this money, but we can definitely, you know, have preparations.
Can't agree more with you. I'd love to do all these projects. It's just a question of sometimes money. Most of the times with CIP projects, that's where it happens. So last year, if you remember, we upped the amount we would put in R&R. So we went from 8 million to now we added another 9 million into that. So we've started putting more money in. So some of the some of the ways that we are trying to do this is really based on that so that we can start getting some of these projects done, because the cost of every project is coming back at least 3 times more than it was 5 years ago. So, so it is a challenge, but we're going to continue working on it with it.
And I will say that the design did consider the fact that there had been some paving in that area already, and we worked really hard to identify that paving and come up with a design that avoided new asphalt where possible, work on one side of the road opposed to both sides of the road to try to get drainage in without disrupting new asphalt. But this budget, this number that we're giving you does include restoring all the roads fully with new milling and resurfacing. So by, when this project is completed, that local mitigation grant funding is going to be used for the restoration, which gets you the paving, which wouldn't necessarily be accomplished. You wouldn't necessarily get access to using grant money to do that paving if it wasn't associated with a stormwater project. So just something to consider in terms of trying to, optimize the mitigation grant funding towards restoration work. So.
Sure, thank you. Commissioner Cray.
Thank you. Since this is Vice Mayor Turkin's district, but it's the city of Boynton, when I came back on board, I was surprised we didn't have a CIP budget. I was like, whoa, so that was one problem. I don't know what happened to it. That's neither here nor there, but there are some things that we need to do in every district, and I'm just saying to the city manager, whatever role we need to take to get some of these things accomplished, let's work together and try to deliver to each district. That's the way I'm going now. And Commissioner, Vice Mayor Turkin, you said it best. What's best for your community because you live there, and if that's the way you feel, I'm 100% with you.
Yeah, I just want, because I stepped out for a minute, so I just want to, Vice Mayor, you're asking for consensus to prioritize the paving project in this neighborhood when we're talking about, because I know Kevin's going to be talking about paving, so and I totally support that because I understand where you're coming from, where, this is all in a perfect world if everything happens the way we want it to. If we had $20 million sitting in a utility account waiting to be spent, we wouldn't be having a paving conversation right now. We would be talking about, great, let's figure out where we're going. But we're talking about the hopes and dreams of if everything goes as planned, we'll in May of '28 maybe be able to start a project. But we can't continue to tell the residents that it's coming, and then May 2028 comes, and we're still telling them it's coming. So at some point we have to, and it always blows my mind that we do things sometimes twice, because it's really not fiscally responsible in some instances. But when you have roads that are in such dire need, sometimes we have to prioritize that and say, okay, it's going to be worth it because these residents, it will benefit them. And granted, it might, in a perfect world, and hopefully it happens in 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, we'll be repaving a road or two. But if not, then at least we've given the residents, and we've worked hard to give them something that gives them some peace of mind that we're actually listening and we're actually addressing the issues that this neighborhood has had for years and years and years. And we talk, I feel like we talk about this in almost every department. Utilities has unfortunately gotten the short end of the stick for many years at the city, where it has been deprioritized and deprioritized and deprioritized. And so we're finally not doing that. But at the same time, we sometimes have to bite the bullet and pay for things twice when it means that we're giving the residents some peace of mind and some assurances and some ability to just drive on the roads and not have some of a multitude of issues. So I'll get off my soapbox when it comes to paving. But we all have paving issues, and we have done an amazing job of really prioritizing some of those things, because not only does it make the city look good on the surface because everyone loves a good paved road, but it really does improve drainage and the swales and the conditions and everything. So I think it, we twofold, we accomplish a lot when we prioritize these paving projects. So I know we're moving into another paving presentation where we're talking about some other roads within the city. So, and we've done this, every
Yep.
district gets a little bit.
Yep.
And it's really, every single one of us has been able to share with our residents that we have projects that are coming up that benefit them. And it's not just, one individual district. So those are my thoughts, but I do support you, Vice Mayor, because sometimes it's never ideal to pay for something twice, but sometimes we have to. And this is one of those times that we may have to do it, but let's hope for the best, plan for the worst, and hope for the best.
That's right. Thank you, Commissioner Kelly. Commissioner Cruz?
Yeah, same for me. I mean, I understand the concerns with the multiple fiscal years and asking for things, and understanding that money's tight and we don't have unlimited funds to do everything we want to do. But I would support looking at this coming budget cycle to see where we can find funding and direct staff to tell us where they believe that we can get the funding from to hopefully make these projects happen sooner rather than later. Thank you.
Perfect. City Attorney, Deputy City Attorney, you guys have what you need as far as the road paving and the drainage? And just one more sentiment from what Commissioner Kelly was mentioning. Yeah, we might pay for it twice, but we will be reimbursed. It's just, whether we're chalking it up now or later. And so, I appreciate the support for the neighborhood. Thank you to my colleagues, and thank you to staff.
Thank you.
All right, Phase 2 of the city manager's report.
Hopefully this one's a little bit funner. Okay, so playground maintenance. So again, good evening, everybody. Vice Mayor, commissioners, staff, as well as members of the public. Fabian Darlow, Assistant Director of Recreation and Cultural Services. We recently had our annually or biannually, depending on as needed, assessment by a CPSI, a Certified Playground Safety Inspector, done this past March. So this is to kind of go through some of the findings, and then we'll kind of zero in on Forest Hills as well during this presentation. So first and foremost, some of the items that we'll cover today quickly. Inspection program, kind of how it works, system-wide summary, a look at all 18 of our playground facilities around the city. Maintenance trends, some of the common themes that we're noticing at all of them. Forest Hills Park, as I mentioned, and then lastly, the pathway forward. All right. First and foremost, the inspection program, how it kind of works out. So we have 18 playgrounds throughout the city at our 31 parks. So quite a big playground system for a city this small, but we're very proud of it, and we want to look at every aspect of it and how we can improve it. Our inspector, Paul Martin, took the inspections between March the 16th to the 20th of this year, and assimilated the following standards below, the ASTM as well as CPSC, when doing this research and assessing all of the playgrounds. And this covers structures, surfacing, hardware, accessibility, as well as use zones. So the different colors on the right-hand side show you kind of the level, priority level, as it relates to how these playgrounds need to be addressed based off of his feedback. Green being in good shape, not too much really needed, no maintenance items at this time, just continue on with kind of routine. Yellow being priority maintenance, schedule near-term attention to avoid any type of need for component replacement. Routine maintenance is the light blue. Addressed as part of regular upkeep cycle, so not as bad as the yellow. And then 4, the dark blue, is component replacement. So this is something that is in dire need of replacement or that we've already removed based off of some safety concern that we noticed in inspections. So here are all of our playgrounds. At the top, we have kind of a summary of some of the reoccurring themes that you guys can see. So of course, all 18 playgrounds were assessed. There were 471 maintenance items determined. 13 out of the 18 needing some minor items such as mulch top-offs. Many of those have been addressed already, but this is based off of March numbers. And 3 of them have had reduced equipment or equipment removed. So those 3 would be Ezel Hester, Galaxy Park, as well as JC Park, have either had most of their equipment or all of the equipment removed from those facilities in looks to replace them with more improved equipment or moving them to a different location at those sites. As we look at Forest Hills Park, we began addressing some of the concerns that some of the constituents mentioned to us. So we are on track to be back open and fully operational at a standard that the CPSI dignified as good standard in the green standard. And we'll dig in a little bit more into that as we go into the next page here, but you guys can see some of the ones that need a bit more maintenance, as well as the numbers that are being shown on each list are the amount of maintenance items. So of course we're tackling those every day, but some of the parks need a decent amount of work compared to some of the others, as you guys can see. All right, maintenance trends and system-wide trends that we're noticing across the board at our playgrounds. Surfacing top-off is needed. As you guys can see, 13 out of 18 needed those, so that's the top priority and what we're taking care of now. Many of you may have seen the topping off of the mulching that was recently done here at Centennial Park, as well as K-Pop Park recently, and we're using similar services at other playgrounds around the city. Routine rust and paint upkeep. Again, this is something that we can do just in-house. We've bolstered up the staff a little bit on the Parks and Grounds side, so they're working through all of the various parks that we need additional paint or addressing some of the rust, of course, for safety purposes. Hardware tune-ups, this is part of routine maintenance between working with the organizations that oversee these playgrounds, the actual equipment themselves, so the different companies that we have, bringing them out, making sure that they're doing their assessments as well as we're keeping up with the tune-ups ourselves. Signage and stickers refresh. We've gotten a lot of feedback as well as feedback from the inspector that a lot of our signage is faded, old, and we're going through now as well too to make sure that everything is accurate and still appropriate for the parks based off of ordinance and such. ADA is of course massive for us too. This is a requirement, kind of a non-negotiable. So we're assessing that at each one of our locations too. Big thing with that is pathways as well as surfacing, making sure those things are meeting ADA standards. And lastly, equipment replacement planning. So this tied most directly to CIPs, making sure that we're assessing everything and getting those requests based off of priority into our CIPs moving forward. Forest Hills Park. So Forest Hills Park, the playground is set for 2 to 5-year-olds, kind of the standard setup that we have there, as well as a swing set. We have both synthetic turf as well as mulch as the surface out there, and there was 40 items logged, and we've began addressing some of these concerns as well. The higher priority items are on your left-hand side there. Handrail spacing adjustments on the deck. That's already been scheduled. The tic-tac-toe panel, parts have been ordered to address the concerns with that. The wave slide, the clamp replacement, that's been scheduled as well. Left handrail bolt replacement and rust treatment, we're working on that also. And lastly, the wood mulch is something that we're addressing at all of our locations. They also mentioned some routine maintenance items, as you see on the right-hand side here, as it relates to irrigation, root trimming, swing zones, making sure they're optimized to the proper locations and measurements to keep all of the kids safe, especially as they jump off of the swings, as we all used to like to do as kids. Rust treatment, of course, is huge too, especially if somebody is prone to cuts and anything like that. We want to make sure we get those addressed. Turf patches is something that we can do in-house too, working with our vendors, as well as general cleaning to keep the area safe and sanitary. This is a little bit more of a breakdown based off of the actual amenity at the playground. So first, we're talking about the 2 to 5-year-old play structure, the large castle as it's known as. The high priority items, as mentioned before, listed at the top in orange. And the lower priority items, worn rubber coatings, rust treatment, as well as the sprinkler system a little bit towards the bottom. The swing set, swing zones, as we mentioned, the beams, the chain hardware, and all 12 chains showing signs of rust, so getting those replaced just so we don't have to worry about those breaking down. And lastly, the surfacing itself, both the turf as well as the wood chips or the wood fiber. Below depth, so we're gonna get that up to level to make sure it's thick enough for safety. Root protrusion, worn turf, minimum turf surface wear, as well as mulch to turf transition, making sure there's no lips there that are creating a trip hazard. Again, all of these things are things that we could take care of in-house, and we've already started working on. This park is opened up in 2018. The park is currently open, and most of the equipment has been repaired or upgraded since then, but we have some original equipment from going on 8 years now, so some of the stuff does need to be spruced up, but we don't think anything at this point is messed up beyond repair. So we're addressing things as they rise up, and of course, we'll have some CIP items related to this as further bigger projects are necessary. Pathway forward. So in the near future here, we're putting in work orders to address a lot of these more immediate concerns across all 18 facilities. Staff are scheduled to do the repairs and based off of priority, and the priorities are based off of the list that we have here from the consultant. Short-term, system-wide mulch replenishment, obviously that came back as a big need, being coordinated for facilities below the recommended depth. Signage and informational stickers also need to be refreshed. Of course, that is not only the right thing to do, but it can help us from a legal standpoint as well, too, in case anything arises. Forest Hills particularly, priority items, as mentioned, handrails, component replacements, irrigation, redirection, to help with some of that rusting coloration that's getting on some of the equipment out there at Forest Hills as well, too. And rush treatment and turf repairs to follow as part of routine upkeep. Again, those are things that we've already started to address, starting with the safety concern items first and kind of working our way down. Of course, the handrails being high priority, as well as the turf and the mulch. Capital planning. So staff is advancing replacement equipment plans for JC, Ezel Hester, as well as Galaxy. Those are the 3 locations that have had equipment removed. So we'll be including those in our CIPs, and we'll be returning to the commission with that CIP budget request and projections to determine what our pathways forward are. And then ongoing, lastly, ADA access enhancements continue to be identified at parks, preventative maintenance being scheduled and strengthened to extend the equipment's life. I think that's the key piece of it as well, too. Us planning well going forward so we're not back here again in the future. Preventative maintenance is going to be the key piece of this operation. And that is it. Any questions, comments?
Fabian, we are very lucky to have you here in the city.
Thank you. Appreciate
Commissioner
that.
McCray.
Thank you. I want to say thank you for your report, because when I came back on board, the first thing I asked for was a report.
That's right.
On all of our playground facilities.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ezel Hester, will we be moving that playground out there? Is it going to stay where it is? Are we forcing the future? We have plans to move
So
it?
the plan at the moment is to move it closer to the football field facility. It gives it a more secure location, if you will, as well, too. We're currently assessing the site that it used to be at to determine how we can repurpose that to get it reactivated. So it's not just kind of sitting there while we figure out what we're gonna do next with the playground as it relates. Some of the equipment has been put back up there. You may have seen it. Those were the ones that were deemed safe and in good condition, but we're not gonna keep it in that state for very long. We're looking to activate it with something that's gonna be more useful to the crowd there. So we'll look into a variety of different things. We'll talk to the community, we'll talk to staff, we'll talk to vendors and see what options they have and ideas they may have for that space up at the front of the property.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, because I'm glad a lot of this stuff we could do it in-house.
Absolutely.
That's the main thing. We got people that could help us out, you know, and I'm glad we have 18 facilities, you know, first, as you said, small city like Boynton, but, you know, we have kids too. I'm just saying, you know, and we have to invest, and we want them to be safe, because I'm just saying, the minute any one of them slip and fall, we're headed for a lawsuit, and I'm just saying we need to get it straightened out now.
Absolutely.
Sooner than later.
Yes, correct. Thank you.
Commissioner Cruz, please.
I do have a question.
Sure.
Barrier-free park.
Yes.
Where is it when it comes to?
Yes, so I can go back to that. That was one of our high priority ones, actually, and I know that is in your district as well.
Didn't make the slide.
What's that?
Didn't make the slide.
Oh, yes, yes. But yeah, you can see that it is one of the maintenance ones.
Yep.
It is high priority. There's a lot of attention over there right now from staff. A lot of those, I know you can see that it's 167 items. A lot of them were smaller items, a tweak of the bolt here, installation of this over here. So a lot of those have been
Congress
addressed.
Avenue, okay.
Yes,
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
Congress
see the name
Avenue
very
BF.
brief. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
okay.
I apologize. So it has two names, of
Okay,
course, Congress
thank
Avenue
you.
Park, BFP. Yes, so that's a high priority one there. Luckily, aesthetically, it's not in bad shape. So that has kept from it being too much of an outcry as it relates to that one, but we want to make sure it's as safe as possible. And we have. Anything that is deemed unsafe by our staff during our assessments, of course, is shut down immediately.
Thank you. Yes, I did get questions, and I also went to the park one time and there were definitely some opportunities for improvement. So I'm glad it's on there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner Cruz. Commissioner Kelly, do you have anything?
Thank you. Thank you, Fabian, for doing this presentation. I think it's long overdue to hear about what's going on at the parks. And I just for staff, I know that it will come, during budget cycle, talking about CIP and prioritizing the, playground equipment is super expensive, so we definitely need to plan for it. But I am glad that we have the staff and the manpower to be able to do the maintenance and the stuff to make it live a little bit longer. But so I'm looking forward to seeing, what the recommendations are moving forward, and really being responsible about prioritizing and not just, the city has been notorious over the years of kicking cans down the road, and then we're in situations where then we have removed playground equipment and we don't have anything. And we're like, well, sorry. So so when we're looking at the CIP and it comes to playgrounds, the immediate needs, the moderate needs, and the long-term needs, and really focusing so that we can see that long-term goal and see like where our parks are. We can do the maintenance, we can do the upkeep to keep them going a little bit longer, but what does that look like? Where are parks, that are going to need it? I know Forest Park has, issues that need to be addressed, and I'm glad to see that the ones that are high priorities are getting addressed. So I'm glad we had this. I look forward to seeing the next update where a lot of the things have been accomplished, and then we can really look at what prioritizing the needs, because when we did our park master plan, our parks are very important, and they're used. They're used as long as they're in conditions that they can be used. And so if we don't take care of them, they will not get used.
Correct.
And then it's a cycle. So, just kind of like with the tennis center.
Absolutely.
Yes. We have made huge strides, and it's being used tenfold. So, when we're looking at budgets and prioritizing the things that really matter and that keep our residents staying in Boynton and happy to be in Boynton and playing in Boynton, that's our goal. So thank you so much for this, and I look forward to
pleasure.
more conversations about parks.
Final comment.
Yes, Commissioner McCray.
I like to say, Fabian, City Hall Park, that was one of our recently opened parks, and I'm looking at it, it says that we have 84 items. What's the problem? What's happening?
Yeah, so as mentioned, a lot of them are minor items, but we just got to work together to just do a better job to stay on top of these things, And we continue to engage in those conversations. We have a great partnership with Public Works and the Parks and Grounds team. We're doing monthly inspections now, so we're really ramping it up. We're trying to get ahead of things a little bit more instead of addressing them after they get to the point where they're so bad. And it's been working. It's been working, and it's allowed us to address a lot of these at a quicker pace as well, too. So I think that next time that we come back, and again, we'll have the same assessment done next year, a lot of these numbers will be significantly lower.
One other question. I didn't
Sure.
start all this, did I?
One thing
But you might
I
finish
think it was
You
a
might finish it,
collaboration,
though.
Commissioner McCray, trust me.
We're all happy you did.
Yes.
Have no fear.
Deputy City
No, we
Manager.
appreciate it, though.
One-
We needed this. We needed this.
One thing I would point out that going forward, one of the things that we're going to strive to make sure that we do with the playgrounds is that we do cover, that they do shade sails over them, because that also extends the life of the playground as well. So, we live in one of the harshest environments for this type of materials. So we do see quite a bit of deterioration in these assets. So by doing the covers, which we recently just did at K-Pop
Correct.
Park, so
Yes.
that's one thing that should help it. One thing I would want to mention that at Forest Hills Park, we did get quite a few emails about the castle. I would like to have some direction from the commission, whether you feel like that should remain in that park or that's something that we should look at removing.
You know, I'll take the lead on this. I think we do need to remove it, solely because there has been a lot of feedback about the, like, potential risks and hazards. You know, I'm not the only one that's saying this. You have members in the audience that have mentioned this before. City staff has addressed this. I understand that there is, you know, some political history to this. However, I think regardless of the history, the number one priority should always be safety. And so, Fabian, you mentioned something about being over-detailed. I don't think you can ever be over-detailed with our playgrounds.
Yeah.
You know, where our children play, and, you know, because ultimately, we're looking at safety, not just, you know, the recreation component. Is this fun? Is this, you know, is there something for the kids to do? But ultimately, it's the safety factor, right? And as Commissioner McCray mentioned, we don't want to get another lawsuit. You know, we don't want any lawsuits. And so I think, you know, I think it is time to move forward with that solely based on the community feedback. I think when it comes to what's next for, you know, that area in this park, I think that's going to be a community forum. And again, thank you so much, Fabian, for coming out last year. I mean, your ability to, you know, collaborate and communicate with our constituents is extremely impressive. And for you to de-escalate, you know, any, you know, harsh situations or when people are passionate and concerned, truly is like, you know, you have it down to a science, and you're incredibly good at that. And so I will say again, we are truly, and when I say we, I mean the commission, staff, and the residents of the city are truly lucky to have you, man. You've done such a great job.
Appreciate it.
So, you know, don't go anywhere. But
Not planning on it.
but that's my position. I'll let my colleagues, you know, take it from there as far as, you know, what they'd like.
I had a conversation actually on Friday about this very thing, because I remember when that, you know, when King's Kingdom, you know, was coming down, and there was a fight to save that. And I, you know, the former commissioner resident, you know, I think at the time it worked and it was fine. But just, it was expired equipment when it was here, and a danger, which is, you know, kind of why it was on the chopping block and it didn't get repurposed here somewhere at City Hall. And so I think that once it becomes the point of it's no longer an asset and it's a liability to the city, I think we have to make those decisions. And although, you know, we want to be sensitive to the history of it, if there's a way that, you know, I mean, shoot, we might be able to just turn it into a totem pole or something. You know, I mean, there might be something.
It's almost there.
There might be something, you know, where, you know, right, exactly. But I think that when it, we have to make these decisions, and they're difficult when there's emotions involved. But at the end of the day, it comes down to, it has served its purpose for many years for the residents and for the kids in the city. But we have to prioritize the newest residents of the city and making sure that they really have the safest playground equipment. And that's something, unfortunately, that I think is seen better days and it has seen its life cycle. And but I would just ask staff to have conversations with the former commissioner with regard to it, and just, you know, that you know, I'm so that there's that sensitivity involved, because I think that that's important. So.
My final point is that we say that it must go. Don't bring it over to District 2.
Yeah, we won't. No more hand-me-downs.
No.
Absolutely, no problem.
All right, Commissioner Cruz, do you have anything?
No, I'll just, I can definitely get more information.
Yeah, is it taped off now?
The playground
Yeah,
at Forest Hills?
the castle.
Not that I'm aware of. Is it taped off now? No, I think it's open.
I think maybe we start with taping it off.
Okay.
And because I've received some communications that it probably should be taped off.
Okay.
So maybe we start with that, and then we can continue to see the response from the community, and then we'll garner some feedback and, get some more participation and engagement about, not just the castle, but the park in its entirety.
Absolutely.
If everyone's okay with that.
Sounds good. Wonderful. Thank you. No problem.
All right, Kevin.
All night for this, all right. Good evening,
Well, we
Vice
summed
Mayor.
it up in the first portion, so hopefully we go through
Vice
this
Mayor
quick.
Commission, Kevin Ramsey, Public Works Director. I'm here tonight to talk about, all right. Paving priority plans.
You got to talk in the mic now. Push it.
I have this problem every time. I'm supposed to get it earlier and hold it up like that, but it's just, last time the mayor told me to squat and talk, so. All right, so let's get on to it. So before I start, I want to let you know that everything you see in this is D and F graded roads. So Commissioner Cruz, you have Cs and above. So I took the highest priority. That's the reason, so. All right, so paving plan priorities. Currently, we have 8 priority plans eight areas that we could actually pave. Value estimated at 10.28 million, and we don't know when it's gonna happen because all of our funding from penny sales tax and ARPA grants no longer are available. So currently, there's no CIP funding in this year or next year at this point. Okay? So you do the right button. I got it. These are our projects. Chapel Hill Phase 2, Rolling Greens, Sky Lake, Sandalwood Court resurfacing, Quantum Boulevard, Park Ridge Boulevard, High Ridge Road, Cherry Hills, Ridgewood Hills, and Seacrest Heights. That covers districts 2, 3, and 4. And this is where the bad roads are. All right. Now we'll go through, this is Cherry Hills, Ridgewood Hills. This has a drainage project with a possible grant tied to it. The paving part is 2.25 million, but this area has been overlaid so many years, it's gonna take a little bit of engineering work on top of this money to get this area done, okay? This couldn't be something we just do an exhibit and rock and roll and get it done like we did the last $8 million worth. The next area is Chapel Hill. This is a topic of tonight's area, but this is the last area, the last roads of that neighborhood that we have yet to do, valued at $650,000, estimated at, okay? The next one is Park Ridge Boulevard. That's going down, that's past our PD and into Boynton High. That is the worst road we have right now. That is the solid F road. that we
One
have.
second, Kevin. Commissioner
All right.
Kelly, please.
Thank you. Sorry, just, it gets easier to talk about this one real quick. So I recently heard this was mentioned at the school level, because obviously this is the entrance to the high school, and it was mentioned at, I was at an event at the city, or at the school, and it was mentioned, and I'm just wondering, is there communications with the school district, and is there any conversation that there's a partner, like a partner, because it is their entrance into the school, and they're talking about repaving a portion into the school, and I'm just wanting to make sure that we're communicating with the school district so that they're not doing something and then we're pushing off something.
The one project that I know that school actually did pave was on campus.
Mhm.
There's a little section that was dirt. They actually got that paved recently, so
Okay.
it has been completed.
Okay,
So there should be no conflict for this.
okay.
Quantum Boulevard. Oh, it backed up on me. There we go. Quantum Boulevard, $800,000 for that. And that's a highly used road as well. All right. Sandalwood, as we all know, Sandalwood Court. We recently just put 2 speed humps in, I think it was today, that we requested, or was it yesterday?
Oh, more?
Real ones. When we had our meeting, it was actually temporary ones, and then we put the real ones in today, or yesterday. I'm not
They'll
quite
be
sure.
so happy.
No.
They're actually
They
very
were
happy
at
about
the
those
meeting.
speed
They'll be
bumps.
super happy now.
Mhm.
Sky Lake, That ties into our Pioneer Canal Park. That area there has, it's been due as well for a while. $500,000 for that area. 1.5 million, I'm in the wrong area. Rolling Green, Sky Lake. Rolling Green, $1.88 million. Those roads are old and they're in need. Seacrest Heights, another one, across from Bethesda. Definitely need that area. It's due. 1.8 million, right, 1.9 million.
And those, okay, I see. So there's different zones.
Correct, but it's all one area.
Yeah.
Sir, yeah.
Okay.
All of Seacrest Heights.
So in theory, you could phase it.
The worst thing we did last time we did this was phase. Gulfview
Okay.
Harbor, nightmare, right?
Yeah, I was
But it
gonna
does
bring that
When you go
up.
to the rotation of maintaining these roads in the future, it completely, we'll be right back where we are in 10, 15 years, you know?
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying for financial reasons, yes,
Right.
but for our longevity, it's a mistake.
So you recommend just doing everything in one? Yeah, I agree.
Entire thing,
Yeah.
right? It saves you headache from your constituents. us headaches
Chapel
from
Hill,
main-
Gulfview Harbor.
Everyone
Did
did
we
that,
end up
right?
paving the rest of Gulfview Harbor?
Yes, we did.
Okay,
We finished that.
I didn't see them on the list. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah.
Right. Budget breakdown, Secret Sites. Here we go. This is just an overview of what we just talked about as far as where the dollars hit. And these are the districts that they're in. I thought I'd break it down that way. And at the very bottom, you'll see what district, with what roads we have, is what the value we're looking at. 6.48 million for District 2, 2.5 for 3, and 1.3 for 4 to fix our DNF roads. I have a, not part of this, but the worst road is Park Ridge Road. The DNF roads are Sky Lake, Rolling Green, Cherry Hills, and then we go to straight Ds are Seacrest Heights, Quantum, Sandalwood, and Chapel Hills, okay? So that's an unknown order up there, but all these roads are due. Okay. So that's the presentation, and we know what happens. That's one thing that we can do really well with construction services. It's proven. We did over $8 million in less than 2 years, and so it's just a matter of funding and prioritizing through you, okay? So that's where we're at.
Perfect. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Kevin. Do my colleagues have any questions?
No, we just have to find the money.
So I will say, maybe our city staff can partner with our CRA counterparts and identify any of the overlap that we see. And, you know, we can discuss that when it's the appropriate time to do so.
Yeah. 'cause
Okay.
Anytime we can use CRA funding to meet those two districts that can use it, then it frees up money to use on the west side of the city, so,
Precisely.
awesome.
All right, we're going to move forward.
We are then, all right.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Kevin.
Kevin.
I'm going to turn to the clerk to read item 10A into the record.
A proposed ordinance number 26014, first reading, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, repealing Chapter 2, Article 1, Section 2-15, and amendments thereafter which establish limitations on board member advocacy and lobbying in the City of Boynton Beach, providing for codification, providing for severability, providing for conflicts, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Tammy. Ian, if you want to kick us off.
Yeah. Good evening, Ian Grigorchik, Assistant City Attorney. The Attorney's Office already provided a memorandum to you all about this topic, so I'll just say briefly. We feel that the ordinance language has overbroad restrictions on speech. It's also unnecessary because Palm Beach County Code of Ethics and Florida statutes already regulates conflict of interest, misuse of position, and lobbying activity. So we're just going to recommend repealing the ordinance in its entirety. Thank you.
Do I have any questions from my colleagues? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All right, we have a motion
Second.
from Commissioner McRae. We have a second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor of approval of repealing this ordinance, say aye.
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 Roll call.
You need a
Oh,
roll
I'm sorry,
call
roll
vote.
call. Thank you. I thought you were saying something else. Okay. Wow, I thought all day I'm not gonna miss the roll call vote. I'm gonna say it right, and I didn't do it. All right,
didn't- I
Tammy,
didn't
can
know
you
how the
give us a
mayor
roll
feels.
call?
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner McCray.
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Turkin.
Yes.
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn back to you, Tammy, to read item 10B into the record.
Proposed ordinance 26-015, first reading, an ordinance of the Commission of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending Chapter 6 of the Code of Ordinances relating to Boynton Beach Memorial Park Cemetery and Sarah Sims Cemetery, revising policies governing the transfer and resale of cemetery plots, providing for transfer limitations to immediate family, prohibiting private resale and requiring resale to the city, providing for a prospective application, providing for conflicts, variability, codification, and an effective date.
Awesome. Kevin, when you're ready,
Okay.
welcome back.
Kevin Ramsey, Public Works Director. I'm back for the next three, all about cemetery. 10B, the ordinance. In just what it is right now, we have Chapter 6, and what we're trying to do with this ordinance change or revision is right now we have, the city has the authority derived from Article 8, Section 2, Florida's Constitution, Home Rule, Chapter 166, Florida Statute. The city has the discretion to set terms of sale, transfer of condition, and resale limitations. This is regarding our plots, okay? The operation of municipal cemeteries is proprietary function similar to running a golf course. So what we've done, current policy, it's more complicated than what you think. It's not. Cemetery plots are currently limited to city residents at the time of purchase. Current rules allow approved transfers and resales prior to internment, which means that they can sell to anybody they want once they buy it, which sometimes puts us in a pickle. This creates potential for transfer to non-residents, resale at higher market rates, so they're profiting off the city, and results in reduced availability for residents, potential inconsistencies with the original residency intent. We're trying to keep it within the citizens of the city of Boynton Beach. And right now we can sell only to Boynton, but they can sell whoever they want. Sometimes it gets us into a bad situation. Proposed ordinance additions. We're adding section 6-18A, cemetery lots. For cemetery lots purchased on or after the effective date of this ordinance, any transfer, assignments, or conveyance shall be limited to members of the owner's immediate family as defined in section 620. Section 618B, resale of cemetery lots. For cemetery lots purchased on or after effective date of this ordinance, private resale or transfer of cemetery lots to third parties or for consideration is prohibited. Any owner wishing to relinquish a cemetery lot shall convey such lot exclusively to the city, subject to buyback provisions set forth in section 620-D. Section 620D, uses by resident. For cemetery lots purchased on or after effective date of this ordinance, conveyance of such lots back to the city pursuant to this subsection shall be the exclusive method of resale or disposition for consideration. 620G, this is adding. Used by residents. Nothing in this chapter or section 6-18 shall be construed to prohibit transfer of ownership by inheritance, device, or operation of law consistent with subsection C. Key policy considerations. Transfer of lots, limit to immediate family, and we'll discuss what that is in a second. Resale of plots, private resale versus city-only resale. Buyback structure, maintain 80% of or revise, meaning we can buy back for 100% that they bought it for, or we can go back at 80% buying back. Definition of immediate family, inclusion of domestic partner, dependents, etc., half-siblings and in-laws. So that means father, mother, children, spouse, domestic partners, siblings, stepchildren, and half-siblings, and in-laws. Okay? New existing restrictions to future sales only. Existing plots are governed by the original purchase terms. Retroactive restrictions may create contract impairment issues, and policy changes should be structured prospectively. Some municipalities' comparisons restrict resales to city only, limit to transfer to city residents, use right of first refusal. These approaches are commonly used to prevent speculation and preserve availability. Boynton Beach is comparatively more flexible than peer cities currently. Oh, I missed one. Implementation, if directed. Amend Chapter 6 of the Code of Ordinance, update deeds, purchase agreements, and cemetery rules, apply changes prospectively to future sales. So, and just, we're trying to keep it in the house in the family of Boynton Beach, at our control. Okay.
Awesome.
Any questions?
Any questions from my colleagues?
There's something to deadbeat up here.
All right, Commissioner McCray, go for it.
Right, this is being done seriously in other municipalities, and you all are on the right road, and if I was you, I'll stay where we are because this is what they do. I'm just saying.
Thank
City
you, Commissioner
residents,
Kelly.
thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Thank you, Kevin. Have we had any plots that have been sold for profit? Like, I mean, I know that we're now changing this to prevent it, but do we know that there's like some corporation that owns plots that?
I believe there are. I think recently the one that we saw the most was there was one that was bought and then subdivided into 4. That they were basically taking one plot and then tried to sell it to 4 different people. So that was the thing that's kind of really triggered this.
Yeah, so I'm glad that we're doing this now. It's a little, you know, I mean, I think that, you know, when we're talking about local city cemeteries, the last thing that we want is to imagine that these plots that are really reserved for our city residents are being sold for a profit to corporations that then split them up and sell them off to the highest bidder. So, you know, it's a frustrating thing that, you know, we can't just go on trust that people are doing the right thing with these plots.
Yeah, me and the assistant city attorney, George, he was working with me, and there was a company out of Boca that had bought a lot of our mausoleum plots and essentially subdivided them. And when I found out about it, because they were selling them off for profit, because we were essentially subsidizing those plots, and what they were doing, they subdivided them, sold them off for vastly more money than what we were charging, and that's from Boca. And when I found out about it, I wanted to, obviously, the most pragmatic way to go about this is, hey, we need to get it, that's not the intended purpose, but because we didn't have anything in place, we had no recourse.
Right.
So it has happened.
Yeah. It's very frustrating, but I'm glad that we're doing this because at least moving forward, we can't. And I mean, I don't know, you know, if those companies would be willing to work with us and selling them. But I mean, I hate to think that we're paying for them back, but I would rather them go to our city residents, even if we're the ones that, you know, have to foot the bill on it. We have a cemetery fee or a cemetery fund for, maybe we contact those corporations that we know have done that and see if they'll be willing to sell them back to us for our city residents. I don't know if that's an option, Dan, or if we can visit that and see if that's an option, but I'd like to consider, at least contacting them and seeing if they'd be willing to sell them back to us so that at least we have them for our residents as opposed to some random person who doesn't have any care where they're buried at the end of the day. So, thank you.
Commissioner Cruz, please.
I do want to say this is definitely a step in the right direction about capping the ability of private entities to, purchase. So I do agree with that. I'm in support.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Yes.
Well, we still have to have a motion.
Okay, all right. We have, I messed that one up too.
Yeah.
I was so
You're just
excited.
a step ahead. You're
All right. I was a step behind last time. We have a motion from Commissioner Kelly. We have a second from Commissioner McCray. All those in favor? Just kidding, we're going to a roll call.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner McCray.
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Turkin.
Yes.
In a roll call vote, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Tammy. Okay, we're moving on to item 10C. Proposed resolution number R26, text 077, amending the adopted comprehensive fee schedule for fiscal years 25-26, as approved by resolution number R25 TEC 243 to revise cemetery-related fees for Boynton Beach Memorial Park and Sarah Sims Cemetery. Staff, please go ahead.
Good evening again.
Kevin,
Vice Mayor,
stay up
Commissioner. I know. I've been off the dais for a while now, so it's like a makeup time. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about fee schedule increases for our cemeteries. As we go through, you'll see, we'll go through it. Neighboring municipalities comparably cemetery operation cost. Regional averages and private cemetery ranges. We did a study of what other local cemeteries are charging. So from Treasure Coast, $200 to $4,500 per plot. Palm Beach County, $3,000 to $7,500 per plot. Broward County, $2,800 to $5,400+. And
Excuse me, I think you need to recheck Broward County, sir, because I know Forest Lawn sells for more than that, and also the cemetery down there, they got about a 9,000 cap. I don't know when the last time you checked.
a little while. I know you know your business, Commissioner McCray.
There you go.
I'm not going to argue with you, not 1 minute. All right, so here's our fee increase. It's not everything, but it's our plot increases currently at Sarah Sims. You're going to see Sarah Sims and you're going to see Memorial Gardens. Sarah Sims right now is $325. Of course, we're out of plots. So the thing is to get these increases aligned before we start selling the new cemetery plots we have. So we are suggesting that we raise it to $2,500 per plot from $325. And this is a suggestion. Of course, commission can choose to go higher or lower. Monday through Friday, we had some opening and closing fees going from $400 to $600 because $400 doesn't even cover the cost of our labor and our setup, but it's still bare minimum, but it covers at least the cost. Saturday and Sunday, same thing, going from $500 to $800. And as you go down the page, really the next increase is underneath equipment setup. It went from $100 to $250 for tent and chairs and grass setup that we do prepping for the cemetery interment. And infant setup, it went from $50 to $150, just to try to cover the cost of our labor for our staff. Next page. These are the next one. This is for Memorial Gardens, Palm Beach Memorial Gardens. Same thing. The plots right now, we were sold for $525. We want to raise that to $2,500 a plot. Infant goes from $100 to $500 a plot. And then the opening closings mimics Sarah Sims from $400 to $600. Saturday and Sunday holidays from $600 to $800. And then again, toward the bottom, the tent and chair setup from $100 to $250, and from infant complete setup from $50 to $150. Okay, almost out of it. Key proposed increase reflects local market alignment. And right here is just pretty much a cost analysis of mausoleum fees. We didn't change anything on the mausoleum whatsoever. Of course, it's sold out. We don't have a mausoleum, so until we build another one, I wouldn't suggest that there's nothing to do there, okay? And questions and comments?
Did you have an opening and closing on that? Go back to that page back. Opening and closing of a grave, ONC.
Yep. Second.
Is it?
Opening, closing is at the top. Is the first one down? The top two items we changed the price on, Commissioner McCray?
Opening and closing fees, okay, ONC 600, okay, that's how much we get, okay. You know, the prices are, I'm just saying they're fair for residents. I'm just saying people think that they're low, but when you add the plot, opening and closing, the tent setup and all that stuff and the equipment, you know, I'm just saying, you know, you're really gonna be less than $5,000. I'm just saying, you know, that's reasonable.
Yeah. Commissioner Kelly, do you have something? Didn't know if that was a finger up or.
Deferring to
Yeah.
Commissioner McCray on this, because I think that, I don't know, because I have never had to price this out, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But Commissioner McCray, I'm going to ask you a question, since you're the subject matter expert. When it comes to a plot, like what we're talking about, that's really like a family, like how many cremains are you?
A plot is a single grave, a plot.
Right.
Yeah.
But like these lots, like there's one that says city, small lot for 2 cremains is the 4x6. So I mean, are we talking that multiple cremains?
No, that's just like for one set of cremains that can go into that. I'm
Okay.
just saying, you can't, it's against the law to go and, and put 8 people in one grave. I don't know if they've been burned up or not, it's against the law, I'm sorry. Don't read too much into it, you kill yourself, okay?
Okay. I'll do my best.
Commissioner Cruz, do you have anything?
Yeah, it's I understand the reason for needing these changes. It is a significant change based on percentage-wise. I always look at the percentage of increase of things. I do think we need an increase. I just wonder if we could, potentially make it a gradual, like, if we have a certain number of plots available and, if we do phases, we do a phase 1 and, potentially do that sort of, I don't know. I'm just saying it's a big increase.
I think as soon as
When it comes
as
to,
soon
like,
as they're
having
available,
elderly,
they'll all be
they're gonna go
sold.
on,
And so there's not gonna be a phase to it. As soon as they're available, the families are gonna buy them.
Trust
There's
me,
not gonna be a
right,
phase.
when they see this price, your family's gonna go and
Yeah.
jump on them and gonna say, look, I'm gonna go and buy my space
Yeah.
now, and now at this price now, this is a bargain, trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because you have them, you don't have to use them, okay?
And on that topic, I hope nobody has to use an infant lot. What a tragedy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that we
I
even
hope
have
we
to
never have
talk
to
about
fill
that.
those. As for me, bury me at South Florida National Cemetery, please. Entitled to my honors there. Do we have a motion to approve this?
So move.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Mac McCray, a second from Commissioner Kelly. All those in favor say aye.
Roll call.
There's no roll call. This is a
call.
resolution.
I gotcha.
You're paying
Thought I
attention.
messed up, didn't you? I was double checking. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it unanimously. Thank you. All right, I'm assuming Kevin's going to present 10D to us.
Last one.
All right, last but not least.
Okay. This is a cemetery rule discussion. We're not asking to do new rules, just enforce the ones that we have. But I know it's a touchy subject, so let's go through this real quick and we'll have a conversation about it. All right? So cemetery rule discussion. On the front of this page is also a website that you can go on, click on, and see the actual rules. I think there's 25 of them, 20 of them. And it's on our website as well. So if anyone goes on there, they can see what they are. So I'm just going to get into this.
In regards to cemetery rules, I served on the cemetery board years ago, and we had rules in place. And when Susan Oya talked about the fruit tree out there, she had every right to say what she was saying because that had no business being there. I'm just saying, with different nationalities that, come in, we have to kind of bend with them. But the cemetery is supposed to be a place where you could take a riding lawnmower and just ride straight across without stopping. That's the whole purpose of it. And you still have some more work down there to do. I don't know how you're going to notify the people, but you need to notify some.
Can I real quick get a quick short cliff notes on the fruit tree thing? What is that about?
Oh, remember, if you passed by, you probably didn't notice it. That was a papaya tree.
Uh-huh.
Been removed
That was
now.
taller than you up here, like this, had fruit on it.
On someone's grave?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
I got a
Yes.
picture if you want to see it later.
Yeah, we'll do that offline.
Yeah.
It was
All
just
right.
actually part of my presentation.
It was it?
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
so I'll save my questions for then.
Okay,
Thank
all
you.
All right. Cemetery rules and regulations are already in place. Provided to lot owners at the time of purchase. Code governs transfer and resale, use and decorations. Enforcement has been inconsistent over time. That's where it comes onto us, right, as a group, right? Background. The City of Boynton Beach Cemetery has established a formal set of rules and regulations provided to all lot owners at the time of purchase. Over the years, these rules have not been consistently enforced, leading to widespread noncompliance across cemetery grounds, as we'll see shortly. Lot owners have planted trees, bushes, and flowers, erected makeshift shrines, installed crosses and small fencing, all in violation of existing regulations. As subsequent slides will illustrate this has created maintenance challenges and diminished the dignity and appearance of the cemetery. The problem, violations observed across cemetery grounds, I just said them. Trees and bushes, flowers and plants, makeshift shrines, crosses and markers, small fencing, and general noncompliance. Oh, sorry, guys. Next. Action plan. Corrective measures to restore compliance. Communicate the rules. We intend to mail the established rules and regulations to all lot owners and family members of record. 2, electronic notification. Send digital communication via email and online portal where contact information is available. A 60-day grace period. Lot owners will have 60 days from the date of notice to voluntarily bring their lots into compliance. Strict enforcement begins after the grace period. The city will strictly enforce all rules and regulations without exception. And 5, signage and postage at all locations informing residents of rules and enforcement. Raising the standards of our cemeteries. This will unlock the needed enhancements and infrastructure improvements, ensure consistent, fair application of rules and regulations, enable better grounds maintenance and long-term care, and restore dignity and respect to Boynton Beach cemeteries. The requested commission action is acknowledgement of implementation of compliance process, 60-day grace period for compliance, and 100% enforcement after notice. Here's your picture. Here we go. So this is what's happened, and we've let it go, you know. So it's not being to be mean. I know it's very touchy in there. We have to step into this pool orderly, but forcibly in a way. So here's a few violations. I'm not going to read everything below them, but we have trees growing in our cemetery. We have bushes that are planted. It's become a garden. Again, more plants. We have areas that these tombstones have a place for your vase and your flower. You know, some have multiple ports in them that we allow, and that's acceptable, but planting is not. And it really disturbs our maintenance. And then we have items like this, that's like a shrine, and we can understand the compassion the families have for their loved ones, but sometimes they'll come in and they'll maintain this, and sometimes they just leave it there and it goes and looks like horrible. You know, it's bad for whoever does come and visit. And then we have another tree planted there. It'll probably one day grow up to be a papaya tree. We did cut down those big papaya trees though before we did this. It was out of hand, so I had the new staff take it out. Here again, some of this is compliant, some of it's not. The one on the right, that's how it should look like out there, okay? As far as your gravestones and whatnots. That too, that's acceptable. We can work with that. It's presentable, it's dignified. I believe the one on the right, it's acceptable. Here we go with some crosses. This is just a few violations that is common. And then we have our mausoleum, same thing. There's rules for that too. And you can't stick, that's just not what it's, one face on there. Sometimes you get two if you get permission for it. And that looks sort of like, it's not vandalism, but it's a shrine on the face of something, you know. Yeah. And
let me go ahead and take the lead on this.
Go ahead.
The next time you give a presentation, please don't call them tombstones. That's out west. They're not tombstones. You're telling your age, not being picky. Okay, the next thing is that in regards to, I don't think you need to send them to everybody. Somebody was buried like in 1895. It's going to be hard to catch up with the families. I'm just saying this places that we have the problem, that's that little section. That's where you need to send. You know, it's going to be redundant just to send them out to everybody.
Okay.
If I was you all, I'd just, where we're having the problem.
Fair enough.
Does Commissioner Kelly, yes?
Thank you. My only suggestion, and I talked about this on Thursday night, is because of the sensitive nature of what we're talking about, and I agree that we have to, you know, we're going to notify them, but I just want to be sensitive that when we know it's somebody that they've been out recently, that we don't just mail the 60-day notice, and then on day 61, we're out there cutting stuff down and throwing it in the garbage. My hope would be, because I would want this if it was my family, I am very busy, we are all very busy, things happen, we go, oh, we need to call, oh, great, it's closed, I forgot, and we get caught up in life. And I just, because of the nature of this and because of what we're talking about, I just want us to be a little bit more, not saying that we're not sensitive about it, but I don't want to, on day 61, be tearing people's stuff up and throwing it in a dumpster. I would prefer that we actually, when it's something that we know that they're coming on a regular basis, that we document that we actually talked to somebody in that family and we actually made contact and we said, okay, this is, this has been in place for many years. This isn't something that we just started, but we need, it's gotten out of hand, and so we need you to take care of it. If you don't take care of it, but to make sure that we're making contact and not just sending notices and then on day 61, we start, and
Sure.
because
No,
then
Understand.
I wouldn't want to show up on day 62 and go, oh, I wanted that thing that I left there for my mom, and I would have kept it. So because of the nature of it, that would be my desire, is that we really are truly sensitive to the family members as we're moving forward with this.
Point taken.
Thank
Agreed,
you.
Commissioner Kelly. Commissioner Cruz, did you want to comment?
Say that was very kind. I agree with that, yeah.
And also too, we might have to have it in Creole. I'm just saying, we have to, make sure that there's a language barrier that we get through to them.
Yeah, okay, this seems to be more informative. I don't believe there's any action needed. So with that being said, do we have any final comments before we adjourn? Seeing none?
Motion to adjourn.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn from Commissioner McCray, a second from Commissioner Cruz. All those in favor say aye.
Hi, good
Motion
night,
passes
everyone.
unanimously with no further business to discuss. The meeting is adjourned at 8:40.